Welcome back, horror freaks, creeps, and cinephile misfits. You're watching the Dread Broadcast. And this is episode 3, our July recap. I'm Tim.
And I'm Jonathan. And whether you're tuning in for the news, the nonsense, or just to see who's drinking wine out of a skull goblet this time, you're in the right place.
If you're new here, the Dread Broadcast is your monthly horror roundtable where creators, collectors, critics, and chaos goblins come together to dissect the blood-soaked state of horror.
We talk movies, shows, games, Blu-rays, books, toys. If it's spooky, strange, or straight up cursed, we're covering it.
And what makes it special? This isn't some stiff review show. We do that in our other channel. This is a celebration. We hype up the good, we drag the bad, and spotlight the creators, the fans, and weirdos who keep the horror community alive and absolutely thriving.
So whether you're an indie filmmaker, a TikTok scream queen, a Fangoria subscriber since '89, or just here for the unhinged opinions, this is the horror hangout you didn't know you needed.
Tonight, we're recapping all the weird, wild, and wonderfully bloody moments from horror in July, plus giving some love to the voices and creators keeping the genre undead and unapologetic.
And we've got a seriously stacked panel tonight, some returning legends, some fresh faces, and a guest who is in one of the best vampire movies of the early 2010s. But first, let's meet our panel.
From the horror vision, it's Shawn, back for another episode with some deep cuts, deep thoughts, and bringing us something new tonight.
Hey guys, super happy to be back. Really excited to have Chris here and talk about his movie. And I got a bunch of really cool horror comics to recommend to people that are out right now. So happy to be here.
Awesome.
Nice. And then from the Nightclub Podcast, we've got Ricky coming back, bringing you horror with a side of chaos and always keeping it cosmic, cuz.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good,
I'm from the Nightclub Podcast, and we do stuff and stuff.
That was a great intro.
Yeah.
Very informative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can find us, please.
And we do have Katie Hattenbach, the host of Katie Afraidy, having some technical issues, but she should be joining us tonight, and we're looking forward to that.
And then we've got Jillian from Rated Horror, serving realness with razor-sharp reviews.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Super excited. Yeah, I do a lot of horror movie reviews and recommendations, mostly on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm excited to chat about the upcoming Hill House LLC movie today.
Super excited to have you with us. And from Slime and Slashers returning again, we have Kelsi with her signature energy and enthusiasm. We can't wait to see what she has for us.
Thank you. Signature energy. That's pretty nice. I appreciate that. That's a very nice compliment. I am Kelsi, as you said, and I'm going to be talking about flipping animal attack books today because nothing screams summer like some cheesy, corny freaking animal attack. So that's going to be fun. But if you're looking where you can find me, you could find me at the channel Slime and Slashers on YouTube. I do talk mostly horror books. However, I do talk movies every now and then. And if you are a fan of 80s and 90s, that's my jam. That's like my whole life. So, and it's been my whole life since like the year 2000. So I was like, I miss the 90s. Literally 2000, the first day. But so if you're like me and love nostalgia, please come on over and see me and become a cult member of mine.
Nice. Up next, we've got Will from One Good Scare, keeping the spooky season alive 24/7.
Hey guys, I'm Will, and I am the host of a relatively new horror review show, One Good Scare, solo hosted, so that's a little weird. Most shows are like multiple hosts, more than one. Not me. I'm going at it solo, for better, for worse. And Jonathan,
Right on.
Tim, I'm really glad to be here, and I appreciate the invite.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. You also do another one, Red Tree, right?
I do. So
Yeah.
I actually also host a scary story telling podcast, fully scripted, sort of a mixed bag of fiction stories, listener submitted stories, and just the scariest stories to keep you up at night. That show is The Red Tree House, about to hit 2 years and 200 episodes. So we're getting
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Congrats.
We have Jeff from your Instagram handle, John Doe Juggalo. Is that right?
Yeah, that's also my YouTube channel
Okay.
and everything all the way back to AIM.
All right. He is
Pretty much been my
Awesome.
internet name forever. I basically just talk physical media of all kinds, whether it's video games, movies, music, very thick underline of horror. Of course, if you were a 90s kid and you had an uncle that grew up in the 80s, you probably were raised on lots of horror like I was. So,
Right on.
Well,
Nan-
we are so grateful that you're stepping in to fill the vacancy for Frank. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being willing to do that.
Nice. And then we've got Josh from Horribly Opinionated, a new voice this month and ready to stir the pot.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm realizing that I need to convince my wife to get me a cool room. Like everyone, I feel like I am way behind here. I need a spare bedroom. But no, thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Horribly Opinionated on social media. I also run the Grave Podcast, which is my own podcast where I talk to folks about their paranormal experiences. So season 4 is coming out in October. So if anyone here knows or has paranormal experiences of their own, feel free to reach out. I'd love to have you guys on.
All right. And then I think I'm going to go ahead. And last but certainly not least, he's the anchor of our relay, a staple of the show from Face the Movies, GC, dropping knowledge and killer Blu-ray picks.
Dude, like, it's awesome, man. I'm so happy to be here. Tim, like, you don't have to sweet talk me anymore because you already got me for next month and for God knows how long. But again, guys, I'm excited to be here with you. I am the host of Face the Movies YouTube channel and Instagram, and also the host of the podcast Friday Night Fright Night. And like Tim said, I'm very excited to be here. There's already a spoiler. I'm actually wearing the shirt. My name is blocking it, but we're going to be talking about that coming up. So very excited.
All right.
Very
I need to message Ricky because he keeps trying to pop in as Chris, and every time he does that, it kicks Chris off.
So that's what's happening. Got
Yes,
it.
they're having this back and forth. They can't have two people with the same name.
Oh,
Ricky's
shoot.
got
I can change my name if that's easier for him.
No, you should change his name. You should change his name. So our special guest tonight, he is the first actor/director to grace the show with their presence, a man of many talents and even more genre credits to his name. You know him from Vampire Suck, American Crime Story, Gossip Girl, and about a dozen movies where you probably leaned over and whispered, wait, is that? Yeah, that is definitely him.
But what's got us especially fired up is his latest project, Abduct, a sci-fi horror thriller that he co-wrote and directed. It's getting seriously strong reactions online, and if you've seen it, you know why.
Fans have been raving about the tension, the mood, the what the hell is happening intensity, and the humor. It's the kind of indie horror that reminds you why we love this genre. It's original, it's fun, and it's dripping with just good energy, good time.
So grab your tinfoil hats, your bug-out bags, and maybe a flashlight. You're going to want to check this one out. We are beyond hyped to welcome the multi-talented Chris Riggi to the Dread broadcast. Chris, it's awesome to have you here.
Oh, thank you guys so much. This is awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Tim. And Jillian, thank you for the review. I really appreciate it. And obviously,
You're
Josh as
welcome.
well. Thank you so much. Oh, God. So this is, I hope I don't get kicked off again. Hope we can have that guy join us.
I am messaging him now.
Okay. I'm
Sorry,
worried
this
about
one
him. I don't want to talk about Abduct. I want to talk about this guy. Get him in here. Let's go.
You want to talk about Ricky from the nightclub?
Yes,
All right. So I told you I was going to get you a nice softball question to kind of get us
I have the
going.
answer. I have the answer.
Okay. So the question is, if you got the opportunity to play any iconic horror villain or horror character, I should say, who would you want to play?
Well, it's funny because I went for the horror villain immediately, even though I reread your message and it wasn't specifically horror villain.
It wasn't.
But but then I decided I'm going to go with McCready from The Thing, if that still counts. If we're all still counting this as
yes,
as just a horror icon, McCready from The Thing. If we're going to count that as a horror movie, which I kind of do. So hope we all agree with that.
We definitely count that one. We definitely
You're like,
count
that's just sci-fi. That's not horror. What are you talking about?
Nope, it counts. It counts. It's a good choice. It's
the last second choice.
You have a second choice?
No, that was the last second choice. I was like signing on. I'm like, McCready, The Thing, done. That's it.
Okay. I like that it's also kind of a deeper cut. It's not like you didn't come out and be like, "Oh, Freddy," you know.
No, yeah.
Yep. I like that. So I know a couple members of the panel have some questions for you.
Oh, give
so
them to
I'm
me.
gonna go. Who wanted to kick us off? Jillian, do you want to kick us off, or should we have Shawn?
I can kick us off.
I think
Dying
Shawn's
burning
going.
question.
Okay, Jillian, you go.
No, really awesome movie. I had so much fun with it. It was just a blast, and I loved like how it ended, and I felt like it could have really gone in any direction. I had a hard time guessing what direction it was going to go in, so I was curious while you were writing it if the ending you went with is what you were planning to do all along, or if you had any other ideas.
That is a very good question. And honestly, what I'm really proud of with this movie is that not one person, even the people who don't like it, are like, "This is crap. It's so indie." No one has guessed the ending. Like, never has guessed the twist. Not one person. Not even my family members have guessed the
Oh,
twist.
nice.
I kept it pretty quiet. So it's always been that way. The ending, like the end of the movie, there was a version of it where there was way more supernatural stuff happening. And then, budgetary restrictions. But the basically the climax was always that was going to happen the way it was going to happen since day one. I was driving in a car with my girlfriend at the time, now my wife Stephanie, and I just turned to her I was going like 102, or I was going insane and way too fast in the mountains, and I was like, and I just pitched her the pitch, and I said the ending in the pitch, and she goes, "That's the movie." And so we just made that and wrote it, and Ken Kirby helped us write it, and so basically it's never changed. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
love
awesome.
that.
Since 5 years ago. I mean, we wrote it over 5 years ago. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for the
All right,
question.
you have follow up, Jillian? Should we go to Shawn?
You can go to Shawn.
Shawn.
So first of all, Chris, I loved your movie, and I think it's really telling that you just picked McCready, because the first thing that made an impression is, I mean, there's a thing reference like early in the movie, right? Like
Mhm.
very early. And that immediately warmed me up to it, because at that point I still didn't really know, you don't have the lay of the land, and I like that. But I'm curious, so is this an idea, and you kind of just maybe touched on the answer where you said you were driving in the mountains when you kind of pitched it to your then girlfriend, now wife, but it seems like this is a place that like the location, and that was kind of the impetus for the story. Is that accurate? Like, was the house or that area like a place that inspired the story?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was driving in Lake Placid off exit 30, so it's very desolate up there by a lake, and it was snowing. Actually, this was exit 26, where don't speed exit 26 on the way to Lake Placid, because the cops will find you. But that's the road we took, and it's in Lake Placid in the winter is magical, which made me think of The Thing, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And so that's that landscape specifically, because the movie has changed so much. I mean, the movie that you saw, it takes place in Santa Clarita for various reasons. One, I wanted my actors to be able to drive to and from set, so I was like, where can I find a mountain house that's, we found it last minute. It would cost an arm and a leg, but it was in Santa Clarita. So originally the first version was in the snow, because like movies in the snow are incredible. I mean, even like something like Dreamcatcher, which is all over the place, is still a lot of fun because of that environment. And the snow is I wish we had the budget for snow. I really do. But yeah, to answer your question, it was totally, even though the movie changed so much, I was really wanted to shoot in the snow. So we kept it in our head that it would be in the snow at some point. But yeah, you don't want to make actors cold when you're paying them very little, and you're shooting for 8 to 12 hours, and it's all favors. It's like, let's just keep it. And even though we had some cold nights, we just didn't have the time or resources to like fly to Big Bear and drive to Big Bear and hold everybody up and shoot it there in the winter, which was the original plan, was to shoot at some like log cabin in Big Bear. So yeah, long-winded answer.
You still had a lot of the magic, even though there wasn't snow. But that like the desert, and Santa Clarita is interesting because it's kind of desert, and there's elements that are kind of forest too. So you kind of get It's a very unique look, and it added a lot. So
Yeah, very like maybe if you think about it, like subliminally, like Area 51 or something like that. I love the desert. You know, my friend made a movie called Jessica, directed by Pitos, and that was in the desert. And I was like, I just want to shoot in the desert, rip them off a little bit, and just shoot in the desert ish area landscape. So yeah.
All right. Who had another question?
I have a
Katie
second
had some
question.
questions. Okay, Katie had some. She really wanted to pick your brain about Vampires Suck.
Please
but
do.
She can't get connected right now. So she just saw my message. Let's see if she gets in here.
Katie
Jillian,
sent it to me telepathically. No, I can hear. She's not even on. Okay.
Jillian, you got another one?
Yeah, and I do want to say too, I'm glad it ended up being a desert movie because I just love desert movies more than the snow. I feel like we don't get enough of them, so
good.
I feel like that really worked out.
Yeah.
But my second question, when I was researching the movie, I saw you did so much for this movie. You had so many different roles on top of acting in the movie, and that always impresses me for these indie movies, right, where people have a lot of hats. But how did you really balance that between everything else you were doing and acting?
Like a lot of practice. A lot of practice with shooting sketches and shooting my wife's film. Shout out to a spy movie, and shooting my other friend's stuff, and like doing videography gigs, and just being like so comfortable behind the camera, making shorts. And I made a feature before this, but like I knew I'm like I know how to use the camera. I'm so comfortable with it. I know how to work with actors when the camera's on my shoulder. I know I can shoot so fast, and just I knew the Sony, because I shot on a Sony A7 III and 4, or sorry A7S III and then A7 IV. So I knew that camera like the back of my hand. Sold it after we shot it.
Oh wow!
But yeah, I mean, come on. I'm like, gotta make some money. But yeah, I think that just excites me when you have your when you're working with your like friends, like, and they drive up to set and like they're all like kind of like groggy coming out of the car, like, what are we shooting? And you're like, I got you, so come over here, we're gonna do this, and just being in control and like kind of like impressing them with how organized I am, and like the collaborative effort between just me and my hilarious actors who are all like comedians in their own way. It wasn't that hard. I can only think of just trying to shoot at night is always hard when you're like, you have like, I mean, haven't actually explained this, is that I really didn't have a crew. There was just like, maybe I had a PA or two PAs who are just favors who I'm giving gas money and food to like show up and like rig up a huge light and then maybe shine a green light for the, so it's like that is a little tricky. But yeah, just being like cognizant of everyone's time, because it was such a small movie and it was such a favor that everyone showed up. Yeah, it's mostly about just like making everybody feel really, really comfortable and having a good time. So how do I do that without like crashing, being the DP, the sound? I'm the sound person too. So I use on this one as well as my first one, all the actors have iPhones on their chest for sound, and I'm like putting ace bandages for the guys with iPhones. The girls put them here in their shirt, and I'm running sound while I have the camera, and I'm like turning them on, and just like a madman. I look crazy when I'm doing it, and it's all handheld, so it's like it's my actors are freaking out. I think I just went so far away from the question, but basically like I have a zoom lens and I'm like shooting like a wide, but then I'll like run into my actor's face and like shoot their close up. They're like, where did you go? Like, what are we shooting? And I'm like, that's how I shoot, man. I got to pick this up. I got to make sure I get all your improvs in. And like, yeah, I mean, I don't find it to be hard at all. If I will say anything is hard, it's why I don't shoot on a tripod, which I need to do more of. The tripod. No one likes a tripod. I hate carrying gear. That's the hardest part. I hate it. I hate rigging up lights. I hate NDing windows. That stuff sucks. That's blessed to all the gaffers and the assistant cameraman. Everyone's like holding gear and stuff, because that's the worst part of making a movie. But besides that, it's a gift. It's a gift. I didn't answer the question.
Well, super impressive that you could do all that. And I loved how you shot it too. It kind of felt like you were there freaking out with everyone at the house. So
Very true.
awesome.
Thank you.
You actually mentioned something that leads into my big question that I had. I have a weird sense of humor. I talk about it all the time when we review movies on my shows. What most people find funny, I don't. What I find funny is usually very abstract. I loved the sense of humor in this movie. So I wondered, you mentioned some of your actors did improv. How much of it was written in the script? How much of it was them improvising? Because I found moments of it very humorous and funny. And I liked how it balanced throughout the film, but it never once took me out of it. I was like, that seemed very genuine and funny.
Yes. I mean, honestly, knee-jerk reaction, my favorite stuff in the movie is improv. That's all like Nicole saying, just throw up or shit out whatever you fucking took. And I was like, I'm crying when I'm shooting this. I'm like trying to keep her in focus. But honestly, like, you know, it didn't start that way. So it was a much goofier movie, not to take the air out of the room. It was a goofier movie and a bigger budget. And I like shrunk it down to this like $20,000 movie and made it so serious and showed up and like, honestly, there were some like things going on like personally. And I needed to, my dog, I always talk about this, like, don't bring down the room. I had to put my dog down like 3 days into shooting, and we had shot like a few like simple stuff, the cop station, which was much different. Like, because that was like one of the first things we shot was the cop station, which was like, mind you, there was nothing there. That room was empty. My wife and I like, and my beautiful PAs like rigged that up to kind of look like a police station. Anyway, long story short, I needed my actors to like make me laugh, and Steph encouraged me to like, let them improv. Let's go. Let's have fun. Let's just like fucking take the shackles off. Like, because like I remember doing my first take in the basement, and mind you, obviously like that was a hard day. The basement day was the day we had to both put our dog down, but we had to shoot this movie as like a therapy. And like, I like treated my first scene with them when they come down the stairs, like, who the fuck are you? And I was like being super dramatic. And then Steph's like, talk faster, make it more funny. Like, and then so we turn the camera on and let Nicole just do her brilliance of just improv, and Tim Stanton being hilarious and Chris Eckert being so funny. He's a Groundlings guy. And like, you know, it was, you know, I say sometimes like maybe it came out of like needing some kind of release and making it funny, but I know who I hired. Like, I know who I asked to be with me. They're all comedic geniuses, in my opinion. Like Chris Daughtry, who plays Patrick, is so funny. You know, I just knew that they would bring, because going off on a tangent, my first film was a 19-page scriptment. And I personally don't like hearing lines. Like, I don't like hearing script. It drives me crazy. It's like, I want to hear stuff I've never heard before. And you can only do that if you just give your actors like room. So, you know, a lot of stuff is improv in this movie. I wish I had more examples. Like, definitely like throw up or shit out, whatever you fucking took was crazy. Chris is Asian, you're white. Tim says that, which just kills me. And like, yeah, there's just so many moments that were improv. Again, probably didn't answer your question. I just went so far off again. But yeah.
No, you did. That answered my question, because I wondered where that sense of humor came from.
Yeah. Just them being funny. Yeah.
I totally get the if I had to put my dogs down, I'd be a wreck. I don't know that I could return to set. So kudos to you for doing that. So
yeah. How's everyone feel?
Just holding back tears. Give me a second.
But honestly, like, there's also a thing with genre movies, and I mean, Cabin in the Woods did it perfectly, I think. But sometimes when you don't have a budget and you lean into the camp, it's like, boy, you know, you can get into trouble because your actors maybe not be able, you know, I don't know. I just got very lucky that like we could push it a little more funny in points, and because of the good acting, I feel like it was solid, and it wasn't like the movie, it wasn't like the the movie was making fun of these movies, but I think it's called The Final Girl, was kind of making fun of these movies like that are like so campy, like Bad Acting and Jason or stuff like that. And I was very, very aware, like, can we not, like, please, let's not just make this corny and like make this like, what's happening? And like freak out and like say like kind of like corny, like stock, like campy dialogue, but my actors never did. It was like always like grounded and real. And it's so good to get like really good actors that are funny and put them in a life or death situation and like see what they do. It's
It worked out. It worked out really well. Okay, before I ask another, anybody else got?
I've got a question. I've got a question. So, because you were talking about Chris having a very, having a small budget, right? I've found that when it comes to certain films, and I'll bring an example like The Man from Earth. This film is low budget. It takes place in one room, 8 to 9 characters, and just him having a conversation the entire film. I found that sometimes having a low, and I mean a lot of times, having a low budget and having the right dialogue and the right story goes miles compared to having a big budget. I mean, we see that in this day and age in 2025, all these big budget, multi-million-dollar movies, and they're just bombing left and right.
Right.
So I did want to say that as far as for the low budget, but I wanted to ask you, because having a low budget obviously makes you have to be kind of a MacGyver. Like you were saying, having the phones attached to them, using that to record audio. Do you feel like that helped keep the integrity of the film and keep you more appreciative of the creative process compared to having a big budget, sort of like a chain restaurant where they all just follow the same recipe compared to like a mom and pop shop that come up with their own recipes and stuff like that?
Yes. I mean, there's like having the actors like hold their iPhones and like label it. I'm like, all right, guys, scene 1, take 1. Say, so do Abduct, scene 1, take 1, and their last name. And like everyone writes in their last, and it feels like everyone's like in control of their voice and like handing me the phones. But besides that, like the low budget nature, like, I don't know, that's just how we work. I've worked that way for a while, but I don't think, and I have to be careful with this because I just don't think there's any excuse for like, my movie's bad because it had no money. It's like people have made Primer, El Mariachi, like there's no excuse for there's no excuse for lazy filmmaking and stuff. Like my movie is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It is taped together with duct tape and staples and reshoots and ADR all over the place. Like it's a messy movie. It has like one Steadicam shot. Actually, I don't even think there is one. So anyway, I just think that like keeping it small, and almost like hiding there's no crew, there's no lights, like so like they're stage actors, like improv comedian genius people, so they're at home, so like, and not having that there like excites them. They're like, this isn't like, I have more time to like riff, and like this isn't like any project I work on. I love working with you guys because it's free and it's not, we're not waiting 7 hours for one scene. Like it's all happening so fast, and there's so much energy and love, and we're all doing it because it's like this is like summer camp. It's making a movie at this level is like summer camp, especially with the beautiful, beautiful, kind people that I worked with. So yeah, I'll get all gushy in a second if I don't stop. So, but yeah, it makes it way more way personal, especially like when I had to walk on to set that day, a Glendale basement I got on Gigster, and be like, so my dog died. What's up, guys? How you doing? Everyone was just so sweet. And yeah, so, oh my God. And like asking my actors to like fall on things with no stunt choreography. There was some stunt choreography. We did a little bit, but like, man, there were some traded blows in this movie. I got knocked. And I'm not going to say who did it because I don't want to spoil anything, but this person I didn't think this person punched that hard in real life, but I got clapped pretty hard. And then I returned it by accident. So in the same like span of, anyway. Small movies, good. Friends, great.
I love that answer, man, because that's one thing I always look for. And I'll bring up another example. There's a movie called As Above, So Below.
I love it.
And
yeah,
dude, I'm glad, man, because it takes place in the same situation where you have a small group, a small cast. They're all on the ground. They're all cold. They're all wet, and it just brings that bond to that point that it really shows on screen, because you could be the best actor, right, and be able to portray anxiety and panic and anger and all that stuff. But when you're able to portray it naturally, just because of that bond and because of kind of going through that boot camp, through the suck, so to speak, it just like I love that, man, and that's awesome. Like I commend you for being able to put that together, and not to mention what you said perfectly. There's no excuse not to be able to create something. I mean, all you got to do is think outside the box. If you have like a lighter, some matches, you have a camera and you have like a little microphone. I mean, just you can make something. But that's awesome, man.
Dude, that made me want to cry.
The way you describe the movie making process, it's something that I want to be a part of. It sounds awesome. I want to see it. I want to experience it.
Come and hang.
I would love to. I originally went to school for digital film and video production because I wanted to direct movies, and then life throws curveballs at you.
Where'd you go?
I'm here instead. Asbury University in Kentucky. But yeah.
Love Kentucky.
So before,
I don't want to leave, but I know you guys have to talk.
Well, I have one more that I can send you off with. We appreciate you making time for us today. Katie did message me. She's still trying, but she sent me her question for you.
Yes, Katie. Yes.
She said, if I miss Chris, tell him he's the shit, and to ask what his favorite memory of shooting vampires suck was.
Let's see. Oh God.
It was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was only oh geez, I think the wire work was fun. I had to do some like light wire work and like jump and turn into a chihuahua. That was fun. Honestly, I was so lucky to book that. I sent in a tape, and then I sent in another tape, and then I got the call, and I was like, "Yay, I'm doing a spoof!" And because I'm obsessed with Naked Gun and Airplane and all the scary movies, can't wait to see the one.
Gun.
Yes, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Sorry.
No, please. I also want to talk about all the movies I want to see, like Together and Oh Hi and all these other movies. But anyway, spoof movies, yes. So I was so excited to get it, but it was hard because of the I was pretty like thin then, and it actually changed my life because I got into like I've always worked out, but I kind of took a break when I was in New York City, and then this long way of saying it was non-stop working out. I was I don't care. This is a long time ago. I hurt my back because I was dancing at a club. I can't hear you. Oh no! Did it stop?
No.
Okay.
No,
so I was drinking a lot of water that night.
Staying hydrated.
Yeah, just staying hydrated as you were. I'm like, hey, want to see a front flip? I herniated my disc, so I haven't even shot yet, but I had to be in insane shape to compete with Taylor Lautner. And oh man, I was in pain the whole time. I was in so much pain, but I was working out all the time. So all I remember is that I did not eat like food. I just ate protein in like really small meals and ate like just steel cut oatmeal and protein, and just try to stay in shape and keep up with Diedrich Bader and everyone else in that movie. So I don't know. I was a little out of my element in that movie. I was pretty young and tried to stay as in shape as possible. But I met some really good friends on that movie. Like, so that's what I take away is the people that I met that I'm still friends with on that film.
That's awesome.
So boring of an answer. So boring. Nothing there. Nothing there.
No, I don't think staying hydrated and doing the flip is a boring answer at all. So thank you so much. We know you're traveling. You got places to be.
No.
Thank you for taking time out of that schedule to join us tonight.
Guys, thank you. I'm sorry I have to leave. Like this was really amazing. And I thank you guys for like hearing me jabber on about stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And we're glad to have you, dude.
Yeah,
Before
man.
you go, we have people who want to catch your movie in the comments. Where can they catch it? What is it? Plug that movie.
Let's do it. Abduct 2025, directed by me. It is on Amazon Prime in the UK, Amazon Rent or Buy in the US. It's free on Fossum, and the links are in my Instagram bio at Chris Riggi. And cool news, it just got licensed to Apple TV and Roku, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean,
nice.
I self-distributed this thing through Film Hub, and so I just was like, I'm like, is anyone going to pick this up? And finally people are coming, and Roku picked it up. Hopefully Tubi down the line or something like that. So, but right now, awesome Amazon.
Chris, quick question. Are you going to have a physical media release for it?
Yes. You guys want to message me and tell me how to do it? I'll do it, because honestly, that is I've looked into it, and it just got put on the back burner, but I would love that. How cool is it? Like a movie you made to be on a VHS cover. Like I go into like antique stores and I see all these VHSs and snap photos of them. I'm like, God, that'd be so cool to have Abduct be on a VHS tape or a DVD. So I would love that. Any ideas how to do it? Let me know.
Nice.
I should know. I don't.
If we can figure it out, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much,
guys. Amazing. Thank you. I'll see you guys. Have fun.
Take care.
Thank
Chris.
you so much.
Bye. Let me see how do I get out of here? I'm just gonna do this. I'm
You're
gonna do
stuck.
this. Bye guys. Bye guys.
See ya.
Walk off.
There we go.
He takes the escalator.
Just
No.
Just close the browser.
Just shut the computer.
There you go. See ya. All right. So on to, that was awesome of him to join us. He messaged me before that he's traveling and was worried he wouldn't be able to stay. So we totally understand. Awesome conversation. Definitely go check out Abduct. We're going to move into the reviews. So actually our first review, Will, how do you feel about kicking us off tonight?
Oh man,
It doesn't have to be you.
no.
It's you or Jillian.
It's
but-
good.
Okay.
It's
All
good.
right. Will is going to kick us off with a review tonight.
All right, so
I'm going to spotlight you, Will. Is that all right?
yeah, no, that's great. So I've had vampires on the brain for a couple of weeks now. Okay, and it's sort of this like weird convergence, combination of things. Today is the 38th anniversary of the release of The Lost Boys, which is one of my favorite vampire movies ever, one of my favorite horror movies ever. And in about a week and a half, on the August 11th, I'm releasing One Good Scare episode on Sinners, which is one of my favorite horror releases of 2025. So I've just had vampires on the brain for weeks and weeks and weeks. Now, I always check at the end of a month, I always check to see what new horror movies are streaming elsewhere, right? Just want to see what's out there, what's coming, what's leaving, that kind of thing. And I noticed that my least favorite vampire movie of all time, I hate this movie, guys, I hate it, is now streaming and available on Canopy, which is connected to the local library. So if you have a library card, you can sign up for Canopy, Canopy with a K, and you can stream movies for free. Whatever they have accessible and available is yours to stream. And so as I was looking at this website, I thought, damn, I want to talk about my least favorite vampire movie ever. And I'm a little nervous because I feel like it might be slightly controversial, and I don't love controversy for its own sake, but I think it might be a good conversation. So
Okay.
I'm just going to, well, let me preface it by also saying this. I love vampire movies, okay? I feel like I need to just bare my soul there and say there's like 6 or 7 vampire movies on my top 25 horror movies ever. So it's not that I hate vampires. It's just that I really hate this movie. Okay. So I really, really hate Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula from 1992. And I'm hoping at least one other person on the panel hates it, so I feel a little better. But damn, this movie sucks.
Will, I've never been able to finish it, so I'm right there with you.
Damn.
You.
I'm not
All
a big fan of it either, honestly, but I'm not huge
Okay.
into vampire movies, so I guess
No.
I'm not the right person to chime in, but I'm kind of with you.
I'll
sorry.
take whatever support I can get though, because this movie was like, it was big when it came out, right? It's got an all-star cast, and I think that's part of my problem is that it feels like a waste of so much damn talent. You know, you've got Anthony Hopkins at the height of his powers, Gary Oldman with his like usual cocaine energy. You've got like, well, Keanu Reeves before The Matrix, he was still in like that Bill and Ted, like, what's up, dude, kind of, kind of persona. And I guess maybe second controversy, Winona Ryder kind of is a dud in the movie. And so like it just for
Whoa.
me, I love to hate it. Like years ago I did an episode on Dracula for another show, and I think I spent the whole hour and a half just laughing because I just couldn't take the movie seriously. And I did watch it today just in prep, just to make sure I was like making sure that I, was getting this thing right. And it was as shitty then now as it was then. So that that's where I'm at. Does anybody love this movie though? Like, and I've just offended you, and now
Yeah. And I watched it for the first time, like, I think in December after Nosferatu. So I watched it like very recently, but you can't like do my girl like that. I thought Winona killed it.
I know. But I think generally I struggle with her. I think she's a certain energy on screen. And I thought, at least in my brain, right, the role of Mina Murray is such a big role. And it's such a big role in the novel that I think I was expecting just a little bit more life, which is weird to say for a Dracula movie, just a little more energy. And so I felt like it just came up short. But hers wasn't even the worst. I thought Keanu was like a surfer who got like transported to Transylvania.
He's so miscast in that movie.
Yeah.
He's so I used to know a guy that did it. He would do the scene where he's talking to Dracula, and he would do it with a slam man, which was just like old boxing dummy. And it was so spot on because I love that movie so much, but I think both of them were miscast. They shouldn't have been in the movie.
I think so. And I think it's probably because they're sort of stacked between heavyweights, right? Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman. And it just felt like there was this weird ebb and flow in some scenes that I don't know. Maybe it was a chemistry thing, but I don't know. Jill, I'm sorry. No offense intended.
It's okay. I understand. It's a trip of a movie. I feel like I'm just like a lover girl, so even though the love interest was gross, I was just like, yeah, love it.
Definitely was gross. I think that's the other thing too. I think of like certain gothic horror movies that I really, really love, like The Others, maybe the original and the more recent Nosferatu, The Lighthouse, The Orphanage, Woman in Black, Interview with the Vampire, which came out right around that same time, The Devil's Back. Like, there's so many gothic horror movies that I absolutely love. And I think what they all seem to have in common for me is that they're really subtle with the horror elements, right? They're not so like overt or in your face. And so you're forced to almost sit with the dread and the anxiety a little bit. Even The Witch from 2015. These are all movies that the horror is there, but you almost have to think about it a little bit. And I felt like with Dracula, it was like, I don't know, it felt like it was Dracula on Broadway. Everything was bright and loud and boisterous, and
That's fair.
It sort of hit me upside the head in this weird way that if I ever review it on One Good Scare, I will probably need a co-host for that episode or a guest host because I don't want to spend 45 minutes just chuckling my way through it.
You want someone who loves it so that you can...
I do.
You can throw down.
I do. Yeah, because I feel like it would be a really good counter for me to be like, okay, I really shouldn't say that. Let me not say that. And so it will help put the filter in place for me to get my thoughts across in a more tactful kind of way. So, yeah, I think so.
Well, I'll join you on that.
Okay.
I started it after the recent Nosferatu, and it's just not my vampire vibe. Like, it's not. I should say, kind of similar to what Kelsi said earlier, vampires are not one of my favorites in horror. And hot take, vampires and zombies are my two least favorite. But you do either of them really well, and I'm here for it. So, is it like Nosferatu? I love that movie just because it's gorgeous and gothic and dripping in atmosphere. Every version of it. like every version of it is that. And so when I go to watch the Dracula you're talking about, I'm like, yeah, this is not what I was looking for. Not what I wanted.
Yeah, I think, vampires in general are it's such a like a flexible subgenre, right? You can have vampires in the hood, you could have vampires in the country, you could have vampires in Transylvania. Like there's so many different iterations of vampires that you could come up with. And I think my favorite movies sort of cross that spectrum. Like, The Lost Boys is, surfer style vampires, right? In Southern California. And you've got like Abigail, who's like a ballerina, a ballerina vampire. Like you've got so many.
That was fun.
Vampire movies out
Yeah.
there. Oh, it was great. But then and I realized Francis Ford Coppola was going for like this faithful adaptation of the movie, of the book. But I wish someone like Robert Eggers would do it. And I realized like Robert Eggers was a teenager when this movie came out. But still, if he ever did an adaptation of Dracula, which I realized he did Nosferatu, which was a ripoff of Dracula, I feel like it would be, or Guillermo del Toro, right? He's doing Frankenstein. Why not do Dracula and save me? I would pay money to see it, and I would get the 4K Steelbook when it came out for sure.
Oh yeah. Instead, we can look forward to his werewolf movie.
Oh, I know. I love Robert Eggers. I think he's a genius.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question for you. Do you feel like The Lost Boys, it's pretty much like Point Break, but vampires?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you put Patrick Swayze could fit into Kiefer Sutherland's role flawlessly.
Yeah.
And he might actually even elevate the role just because of how charismatic he is on screen, right? So I feel like, yeah, absolutely. The Lost Boys is Point Break.
Nice.
Just
All right.
with vampires.
You won me over, man. You got me back. All right. Well, let me ask you one more question. How do you feel about 30 Days of Night?
Oh, one of my favorites. And I have it on a list of my favorite vampire movies. So again, just for posterity's sake, I feel like I need to tell you what they are. It's in no order: The Lost Boys, the original Salem's Lot, directed by Tobe Hooper, Fright Night, 30 Days of Night, John Carpenter's Vampires, only because James Woods is just a fucking nut. And it's like all his nuttiness and all its glory in one 90-minute segment. Obviously Nosferatu. I actually prefer the 22 and the 24 version. I've not really made it all the way through Klaus Kinski's version. I feel like it's a little slow, maybe a little too slow for me. And then I love Abigail and Sinners, obviously. So
Abigail's a ton of fun too. That movie is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Near Dark.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's because it hasn't been available physically, and it's like pops up for a month here or there on streaming and disappears.
Okay.
For some reason, it just I don't know, but it's great.
I'm gonna throw it on my list here.
Have you seen Vampire, the Criterion release? I was talking to Shawn about it.
No, I haven't.
Dude, if you love
You'll dig it.
atmosphere, yeah.
Right. Now I have read the short story that the movie is based on, and I actually covered it on the Red Tree House. I don't know, 6-7 months ago, and so I'm familiar with the story, but I haven't actually watched the movie yet.
Dude, it's so good, man. The atmosphere, it's especially for that time. Like they did such a phenomenal job, and then the physical release, it comes with the book, and it's just beautiful.
Man, it is
And
good to know.
You have the voice for those spooky stories. I just gotta tell you, I'd throw them on when we're traveling, especially at fall time. It is perfect. So I love it.
I appreciate it. My my family, my wife and kids, they don't listen to my shows, which I used to lament, and then I started talking to other like podcast hosts, and they're like, "Yeah, my family doesn't either."
Yep.
So I feel like we're a sorority.
Yeah.
But they're constantly like, when they do listen, or when I do throw it on and like subject them to it, it's like, that doesn't sound like you, and it's like. Yeah, because I'm talking lower in a microphone, slower. Like there's a little bit of vocal fry at times, like.
Yep.
So I appreciate that, Tim, for sure.
Yeah, my wife is not downstairs watching this live on YouTube. She's watching something else, and she will never catch this. So she calls you all my internet friends. That's your internet friends. Yep, that's them. That is them. All
That's
right. Thank you so much for that, Will. We are going to jump, so a little bit different structure. We normally do our 3 reviews at the front, 3 recommends in the middle, and then our physical media at the end. Today, I want to throw a curveball in it, see how it goes, but we're going to jump to some recommendations now. So, Josh, Kelsi, who wants to fight for that? No. Who wants? Kelsi, you're returning. I feel like you could kick us off.
Are you sure? I mean, I wouldn't mind if Josh wanted to go first, but I take a long time sometimes, so maybe we should just get me over with.
I'm watching the clock. I'm watching the clock.
Oh God, the timer's on. I better start going. Okay.
You're good. You're good.
I do have quite a few books to talk about today, but in total 10. Most of them are creature feature, animal attack books, whatever you want to call them. I'm a sucker for animal attack movies, animal attack books. You might think, how the heck is this going to translate to a freaking book format? It does. If it's done right, it's freaking a boatload of fun. And I'm pretty picky. I mean, I've read a lot of them. For instance, I'll give you a good gauge of if you can trust my opinion or not. Have I read Jaws? Yes. Does it kind of suck? Yes. You will never hear me say that Jaws the book is great. I actually don't think it's great. If you want to imagine Hooper having sex with Chief Brody's wife, then yeah, sure, whatever. That's the only thing I really remember about the book, and some mafia subplot stuff. But other than that,
was a deleted scene.
Of course, I hope that wasn't a deleted scene. That would make me barf. But I do love the movie, so I think you can mostly trust me. I think I can determine what's good and what's not good. But thank you, Andrew. He likes animal attack books quite a lot too. But when we're talking about books, I just think you got to pick and choose, and you got to kind of shop around. But even some trashy, not great ones I like. So let's start off with one that I love, that I talk about all the time. So this is The Nest. The Nest, of course, there is a movie based on this. The movie is not as good. However, at the end, like the practical effects, there's some great stuff at the very end of The Nest, the movie. The book is great from page 1 all the way to the end. There is a little bit of scientific mumbo jumbo, and that kind of slows it down at parts. But for the most part, this has everything you could want. It's got killer cockroaches, and nobody is safe. Freaking pets aren't safe. Freaking women aren't safe. Children aren't safe. And freaking men's peens aren't safe. Because, yeah, they eat every single part of a dude, of a lady. Yes, the peen. And if you're not already sold by this description of The Nest, then maybe I could sell you by saying that a man has sex with some leaves. You heard me. How is this possible? What the hell? It's real. Leaves deserve love too. So, and they get love in this freaking book. So anyway, it actually is in this book. But to be serious though, this is really fun, and the part that I love about it is it has this over the top poetic language, but the subject matter is killer roaches. So it's kind of like this yin and yang, but it works together really, really well. And I just think if you're, looking for some trashy reads to close out the summer, this one's a fun one. And again, you just kind of got to get through that sciencey part, but this has also been released or re-released by Valancourt Books. You don't have to have a vintage copy like this because this is rare. This is considered a paperback from hell. But again, you can get a new edition from Valancourt Books. It's labeled, as you'll see, it has this little tag here. It says paperback from hell or paperbacks from hell. And also there's an audiobook for this now. So I read this physically a couple of years ago, but now there's an audiobook. So
I love audiobooks. I'll have to check that out.
See, I gotta say, this is by Gregory A. Douglas.
Okay.
And he didn't really write a lot of books, but I really enjoyed this one. But I will say, last time I was on, I did this whole spiel about, guys, I know a lot of horror movie people are like, but reading, I don't read. What the hell? Why are you even talking about books here? But trust me, like, if you give books a chance, they can be really, really fun and a really great addition to a horror lover's life. Because I didn't think I was a reader until like the pandemic, where I just tried different books out that I never thought of reading before. There's more out there. This is going to be my little tagline. There's more out there than Stephen King. Give freaking horror books a chance. Especially sometimes you could find some like vintage gems sometimes, like this one in my opinion. But audiobooks can help. So if you're wanting to dip your toe into horror books, audiobooks, think of them like podcasts, but with a book. You can multitask. It might be the key to getting you guys who might be listening, who might not be fans of reading, might get you into reading. You never know. I didn't think I was a reader for the majority of my life, so don't give up hope just because you think you're not a reader. Another re-release by Valancourt Books, that is a publisher. This is Hellhound by Ken Greenhall. He also wrote a book under the name Jessica Hamilton, but it's Ken Greenhall. That one's called Elizabeth. That one's good too, but this one's an animal attack, and we're in the mind of the animal. So we get this perspective of the animal. An animal is named Baxter, and this freaking dog, he's an asshole. Pardon my French, but he's a pretty sinister pooch. So this is not your typical friendly, like, oh, I love you kind of dog. He's very manipulative. He may or may not be responsible for some human deaths, and we get a glimpse into his psyche and how he kills his humans, and he thinks, he's the top dog, but then he meets a fellow human who might match the sinister level, of his diabolical freaking personality, because there's a kid who kind of adopts him eventually, and this kid's pretty terrible. So what I love about Ken Greenhall is he does have a very stylistic way of writing. It's very simple, very terse, but for some reason it really, really works, and you actually do feel like you're reading the thoughts of a dog. You would think that'd be kind of hard, but he pulls it off. So this is kind of bleak, but it's not super funny like most animal attacks, but I do think it's short, it's sweet. I think it's worth reading. And this author, he really should have had a lot bigger fan base. I'm glad that with his books being republished, he's getting a little bit more attention. But Ken Greenhall, great old school vintage writer. Hopefully more people discover him, because I think he's great, or he was great. All right, now for a more modern book, we've got Clowns versus Spiders.
Oh.
And this one's a lot of fun. This is by Jeff Strand. And if you like horror comedy, Jeff Strand's really great at writing horror comedy. But this is my favorite of all his comedy books. And of course, you do have a group of clowns who want to be taken seriously. They don't want to be part of the problem that is scary clowns. They hate clowns that perpetuate that view that clowns are scary. They want clowns to be viewed as innocent and good. So when they lose their jobs at a circus and have to start working at a haunted house, they are appalled. They are really down in the dumps. So this is very humorous, tongue-in-cheek, really, really fun, outrageous, absurd. And eventually, some giant-ass spiders come around, and they gotta fight against these spiders, and craziness, silliness ensues. This is top tier animal attack in my opinion, with some carnival clown references, which I love. So, and haunted houses references. This could be a good kind of September read if you're trying to switch gears from summer to fall. This could be the book that gets you there. I don't know.
It's like Eight-Legged Freaks meets Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes, exactly.
I dig that. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome,
I love that.
actually.
And truly, I don't laugh out loud at books a lot, but I laughed out loud during that book. It was so funny. Jeff Strand, not a lot of horror authors can do horror comedy, but I feel like Jeff Strand can do it pretty well. Another person who's in our chat right now, Jessica Lacey, she can do horror comedy very well in books. So,
last month's featured guest is hanging out in the comments this month.
yeah, she's great. She's one who can do horror comedy. Her books have a comedic undertone at times. So
For bubblegum horror, as it were.
Yes. So another funny book and more modern book is The Roo by Alan Baxter. And this will give you summer vibes because we are in Australia and it's hot as hell. The descriptions, they definitely kind of nail the heat. It's it's freaking, it doesn't say that it's like Satan's butthole, but you just imagine that. Pardon me, but it's like Satan.
Sounds like Texas right now.
Yeah, in Louisiana. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm
swabby hot and nasty. Wow.
It's yucky.
Yeah, it's very yucky. And it's yucky when you're reading this book. You just feel the heat from the pages. But I do think that this one is fun. It's kind of absurd and ridiculous, and it's supposed to be. If you read I believe there's a foreword, or is it an afterword? But there's something in the beginning of this book where the author says why he decided to write this. They were joking around, him and some other authors in a chat, and they were like, I want to write like a vintage, cheesy, animal attack book, but now. And so he wrote The Roo. He actually has like name drops of other horror indie authors in here, just because it was kind of like a project of fun. Not everyone I know has liked this book, but I loved it. It's really short, quick little novella. I don't know. If you're looking for something to read at the beach, killer kangaroos ripping off people, ripping off humans' heads. Yeah, come on. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sharky Gal with the bloomin' onion pairing. That was hilarious. That was a perfect book to read with a bloomin' onion.
A bloomin' onion. Nice. That would be a great pairing, Kristen, for sure.
One was now.
I actually do love bloomin' onions as well. Those are really Lineage, so I'm gonna have to go to Outback. I mean, I don't know how to make one, so maybe I'll just go get one there soon. I swear I'm almost done. So this is my last. Well, no, I've got two. I've got one more after this. One animal attack book after this. So this is Rats by Paul Zindel. This is an early 2000s YA book. Don't be fooled by the YA label. The reason I put it on here is because of the YA label, because it freaking goes ham. At this one part, these rats go into this tractor and freaking go into this person's brain and stuff and like eat through their eyeballs. It's magnificent. And you're like, how the hell was this a YA book? And actually, when I first picked it up, I thought it was a middle grade book. I was like, there's no way this is a middle grade book. But it kind of reads middle grade, but the violence doesn't read middle grade, which is what you're looking for. Yeah.
Sassy.
And don't be confused, because there is a book, a very famous animal attack book called The Rats by James Herbert. I have read it. I don't love it because I wanted more rat action. Some of the animal attack books that I've read just don't have enough attack action. To me, that's one of the flaws of Jaws the book. Also, I kind of liked The Meg, but it wasn't my favorite. The Meg, the book. I liked the movie well enough. But the book itself, I was like, I want more shark action. So if you're looking for a book with more shark attack action, I feel like this really trashy book called Scar by Michael Cole could do you just fine. That one, very little explanation, very little setup. You kind of get into the attacks right away. And not only do you have animal on human attacks, you also have human on human gunfight attacks, and you have freaking orca versus shark attack scenes. So you got animal versus animal. Hell yeah. Nice. So, if you were a little disappointed by a shark attack book recently, try that one. I like that one quite a bit. And those are all of my animal attack books I have read. A new one that I have my eye on that I want to put on you guys' radar is Tick Town.
No, ticks, bro.
Lyme disease for everybody.
Yes.
That's caca. No.
Yes. So I have not read this yet, but I plan on reading it very soon. And the author sent me this copy for review, so I'm interested in digging into it. It does have an audiobook as well. So if you're an audiobook fan, check that out. I know you can get it through Audible. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but definitely through Audible. And then to close out,
was fantastic, though. I'll give it that. The cover was fantastic.
The cover is definitely, you can tell they're going for like a vintage, like B-movie vibe. Like, look at that. Look at that.
That 50s look.
Yes, exactly.
That's all your Fallout giant tick action kind of thing.
As much as I hate
giant
ticks, I want to read it.
Yeah. I think it does have giant ticks, yes. I don't know if it's one or multiple. Oh, it says the giant bugs are back with a gruesome vengeance. So yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
the queen tick and her nest. So yes.
Oh, I hate that so much. I want to read it. Okay.
You should read it with me. Buddy, read it. All right, and I swear... Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you got one more? Oh, you got a quick snack?
Don't worry. These are quick. These are super quick. I know I'm over, but other summer reads. If you want summer camp mixed with creature feature, Kill Hill Carnage by Tim Meyer. Can't go wrong with that. If you want island shenanigans, might also have spiders and weird people involved, The Forgotten Island by David Sodergren. I don't agree with his movie ratings, but I do love his books. So it's going to be my spiel. I always kind of bash his movie ratings, but his books, I can't bash those. And finally, we were talking about vampires earlier. If you're looking for a coming of age mixed with vampires, we've got the trashiest horror author ever, Richard Lehman, who I have read a lot of books by. This one's the most tame. So if you want to dip your toe into Richard Lehman, maybe start with this one if you like vampies. But most of it's coming of age. But the last 2 pages, they're pretty damn good. And
you did a video about him, correct?
I did today. I released
Yep.
it. I would call him the king of trash, and I would warn, if you read him, don't say it was because of me. Please don't say it was because of me. Don't blame me. Don't come after me. And not a horror book, but if you like coming of age, it's amazing. There is a little murder mystery element at the core of it, but it's really about so much more. My favorite book of all time. I can't be me and not mention it, so just a quick plug. Robert McCammon, best author of all time. Not really a horror author anymore, but Boy's Life. Boy's Life. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It'll make you cry.
It's where that was like the Boy Scout magazine name, Boy's Life.
And that's my segment. I'm sorry for going on and on forever, but
it's all good.
Read. You should read. It's fun. It's fun.
Robert McCammon is such a poetic and beautiful writer.
He is.
I love his work.
Me too.
Recently, he's been doing. I read his mysteries.
Michael Corbett. Yeah, Matthew. I'm sorry, Matthew Corbett. Yeah, those are so good.
Series.
Speaks the Nightbird. Yeah, those are great.
Speaks the Nightbird. It's set in like 17 whatever. Pre-America or early America?
Early America, yeah.
Yeah, and he's investigating like a witch. So there's elements of horror in there, but early period drama mystery with just incredibly beautiful poetic prose.
Yes.
Highly recommend Robert McCammon.
He's
incredible.
my favorite. I mean, he's not even pure horror anymore, but like he did get his start writing paperbacks from hell. But Robert McCammon, I will never stop shouting his name from the rooftop. Even though he's not pure horror, I swear, guys, if you read a Robert McCammon and hate it, we can battle. Oh no, we don't have to.
I'll fight you.
We must do battle.
I think most people kill.
Literature fight.
It is so good. All right. So moving to physical media, Jeff, do you want to see GC go first? Since you're filling in, you want? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. GC, we're spotlighting you early, man.
I don't even know how to compete with peens that have been eaten off by bugs. So all I'm gonna say is, first of all, guys, read the books. For the love of God, read the books, read the booklets that come with your movies. I mean, come on, man. Like, look at this. Anyway, I want to talk about the release of the year. It hasn't come out yet. It's going to be out September 29th. And I mean, man, like the dark clouds are over. We finally have this figure that's getting the love that he deserves, because we have Michael Myers, we have Jason, we have Chucky, we have every horror icon that has box sets and has every release known to man. But somehow Freddy Krueger got left on the sideline. And to me, that's my favorite franchise.
Mine too.
But,
Mine too.
Dude, there we go. You see? Come on, guys. Jump on board, please. But Tim, go ahead and pull up the link that I sent you for Amazon.
I'm a Jason man. Sorry.
No. See, he's sabotaging already.
Freddy is so witty, so much humor.
I love
dark
Freddy.
and brutal and killer. Like,
I love Freddy, but I also love Jason.
Jason's awesome, man. But I mean, the humor with Freddy and every single movie. I mean, I know some of them are not great, but it's really hard not to just love the franchise for what it is. Not to mention, what killer out there could be scarier than the guy that could get you in your dreams? I mean, think about it. And you got to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
And this is it right here, guys. I mean, this Steelbook box set is coming out. This is an Amazon exclusive. So you can get the UK version anywhere else. But this one, this is the US version. Doesn't come with the Blu-ray, but we have that crappy Blu-ray release that they did quite a while back for like $18-20 you could get. But $167 and you get every single movie. The first and I believe the fifth movie are unrated. And then you get the 3D glasses. I mean, look at that. Like, what better way than to watch Freddy in 3D, even though it might not be so much 3D, but you get the point with the nostalgia.
I'll watch it.
Dude, it's fantastic. And not to mention it's 4K. Finally, we get to watch this movie in 4K. It's a masterpiece. So yeah, so guys, this is one of the ones I wanted to highlight right off the bat. That's why I was wearing the shirt today. I was like, you know what, we got to do it. And now we have another one that it's also super exciting for any comic book fans out there. If you like Marvel and all that stuff, then we're just gonna shift gears and go to Spawn for a second.
Oh,
Because Arrow's releasing Spawn on 4K finally, and I mean, I know the CGI is not going to be that great, but we got John Leguizamo in there, and he's going to be hilarious as the crazy clown guy.
Oh,
And
good.
then-
John's back.
The which one?
I was saying John's back for that. That's awesome.
Oh, dude. And I mean, I'm hoping the release should be good and there shouldn't be any issues or anything like that. But they did a pretty good job as far as for like the packaging. They used like the original looking kind of image, and it just looks so cool, man. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have a ton of special features in there for everybody. And one thing I'll say, that if you love cinema, like look at the special features. They're gonna make you appreciate and love the movies so much more when you see what goes into the making of these films. But yeah, that's the one right there. It's Spawn. It should be coming out fairly soon. I think within the next maybe month or two, right, Jeff?
It comes out in October.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're right around the corner there. But I mean, yeah, you have the director's cut. You have a ton of beefy special features. You have a cool poster. So again, if you're a fan of like superhero stuff, this is kind of like the
Hell yeah.
anti-superhero guy, and it's just badass, man. It's Spawn.
I mean,
I
read the
don't
comic book.
care how bad it is. I'll give that movie a 9 out of 10 all day, every day.
Masterpiece.
It's amazing.
And now I want to jump on to another Arrow release, which is actually people are getting it now. It's called Zombie. Some of you guys might recognize this film from the iconic scene of a zombie fighting a shark.
Hell
Just
yeah.
to Kelsi, what you were talking about, the whole animal thing. I mean, there we go. And it's awesome. They have an Arrow exclusive, but then you could also get the regular version, which to me, the regular version, the cover looks so much better and it's so much more intense, especially if you have a fear of stuff going in your eyeball. And you're
No
gonna,
thanks.
yeah.
I
Which
love
is-
eye violence, man. It's the best. Fulci's my ride or die, man.
Dude, and this release, I believe this is the Arrow exclusive, which looks cool. I mean, it kind of looks like a video game to me, but the other version that they have, it just has the girl's face there, and it looks kind of like I think it was like almost looked like a needle or something touching her eyeball. And yeah, man, I don't know about you guys. I love movies, so anything that has to do with me seeing anything, it just kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And he has an obsession for eyeballs, apparently.
Yeah.
Fulci does.
Oh,
Yeah, big
Oh my
time.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Big
somehow-
time.
balls.
I don't like eyeball stuff, but Fulci does it like all the time.
Yeah.
I love him. He's one of my favorite directors, period. But yeah, I might
Yeah.
have to get that one. Damn it!
He's
What are you
there's-
doing to me?
He's a horror guy compared to what's his name, the one that has the fetish with feet,
Tarantino.
Tarantino. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a Tarantino of horror. One of them likes feet, the other one likes eyeballs. I mean, yeah, you know what, whatever does it
I
for
love
you.
Tarantino.
Few things that make me squirm, like eyeball gore, and just Fulci is full of
Yeah.
that. So yeah, man.
Now, as far as those releases, obviously I don't have those yet. I wish I had the Freddy. I'd be sitting here just putting it right in front of the camera the majority of the time. You wouldn't see my face. You just see the Freddy Steelbook collector set. I do have an awesome release, which is on sale right now on Amazon. I'm not sponsored by them, guys. You know, I'm not the biggest fan. Support small business, but you know, sometimes they do have good deals. You know, we can't fight it.
When
But
you're on
this-
a budget, you got to do
Exactly.
what you got to do.
Exactly. And if you like cannibal stuff and you like all this type of crazy stuff, there's a release for like $22. I think it's still on Amazon. And it's a Blu-ray release. It's released by Grindhouse and it's called Cannibal Holocaust. Apparently one of the most controversial movies ever. So the director almost went to jail because they thought that he legit like cannibalized these people.
Oh damn.
Now
Okay.
I'm gonna try to cover like let me see. Let me just cover this part. So
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
yeah. So just in
Yeah.
case
Full safety.
for the squeamish, and in the back of it, yeah, the back of it's fine. Okay, so the back of it's fine. This release is fantastic, and I chose the Blu-ray over the 4K, and I'll tell you why. Because for one, I don't need to see certain things on here on 4K. I think Blu-ray is more than enough for me.
Yeah.
But then
VHS
also
is fine.
yeah, and then even VHS. Yeah, this is one of those movies I think even
No
on,
doubt.
like the Blair Witch, you have to watch it on VHS. You have to own it on VHS. But this comes with not just the film, it comes with a ton of extras, documentaries, commentaries, but it also comes with the soundtrack, which is just amazing. And unfortunately, let me see if I could there we go. I guess we could do that kind of horror. But I swear they went all out with this. Like I actually had to flip the cover of the case just because it was there's two different options. But yeah, here's kind of like the case that you get, which is really nice. And again, I mean they went all out. I mean, it even comes with like a nice booklet. Once again, read your books. But wait and make sure. Okay. But yeah, you got the cool booklet and like you got some information on there. But now we're gonna go more to a not so horror. It is because obviously it has to, the name of the movie itself is called The Tragedy of Man, and this film was released by Deaf Crocodile. They just put this out not too long ago. I got myself a copy, and it's supposed to be an animated film. It's about 160 minutes or so, and it I believe, what was it, 23 years in the making, by a Hungarian animator named Marcel Modern Times, and each section in Civilization, it's a different type of animation. Now,
wow.
it's recommend picking it up. It's beautiful. I mean, you're just gonna suck you right in. I mean, one of the descriptions here alone, it's a spiraling kaleidoscopic masterpiece. So I mean, make sure to check that out. It has a ton of special features. This one is a Blu-ray, but it is gorgeous, especially if you have one of those cool OLED TVs. I don't, but LED OLEDs, I mean, you're going to be able to enjoy this. And then the last one that I have to kind of showcase, I don't know if I talked about it last time or not, but either way, it's worth bringing it up again, just in case if I already did. But I want to introduce you guys to Enter the Void.
Oh, I believe you did, but let's talk about it again.
Okay, so
let's do it.
Enter the Void. This was released by Vinegar Syndrome, and let me tell you, Arrow did a release as well and did not do this movie justice. I wish, like, my camera's 4K. I wish it was like 8K, so you guys could almost like feel this like box. But I mean, it is so beautiful. Like everything they did when it comes to like the design aspect, there's so much love went into it. And I'm gonna take you into the slipcover alone because I mean, it's just incredible. Just incredible. Cool. And obviously, you're seeing the director Gaspar Noé. That's the only movie that I've seen of his. I know he's done quite a few others. They're supposed to be phenomenal. But this film is just—it's so beautiful. It has to. The story takes place pretty much. It's if you've read the book, the Tibetan Book of the Living and the Dying, or the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and that belief where when you die, your soul stays around for about 30 days or so. I'm not sure how they got to that specific number, but you know, it stays around to kind of make sure to keep an eye on things. If you had to complete anything that you kind of left incomplete, you have that opportunity. Now, it's not even just that, but also the belief of if you want to be on Earth like bad enough, like if you want to stay alive bad enough, you have that time to figure out a way to kind of be reborn. So that's kind of what this movie is about. It follows the journey of this main character. He's in Tokyo. Film highlights the city pretty beautifully, and he's there. And it's no spoiler. I mean, right off the bat, within the first 10-15 minutes, this happens that where he gets killed. He gets killed by police, and the rest of the film is just following him. It's following him again, floating around through the movie. You don't see him, but it's almost like it's you just flying through the film. And the camera angles used in this are just incredible. I've never seen certain scenes in this film like anywhere else. And there's just this one specific scene. It has nothing to do with the story, but this character is looking at himself in the bathroom mirror. And when he's blinking, like the camera does the same thing. And then when he's washing his face, it's like a first person type situation, but it's so perfectly done because of the fact that he's looking in the mirror and you see no camera. It was flawless, absolutely flawless. But yeah, here's I mean, look at that. And this actually, you'll once you see the movie, this will all make sense. And I will warn you ahead of time. There's not just nudity in this. There's things you're watching this movie and you're like, were they really doing that in this movie? Like, damn, this was like what the hell just happened? But
Gaspar Noé's got a lot of that going on.
Yeah, and
risque.
There was a specific scene where I was just I did it like a double take, and I was like, did I just
Mm.
see what I think I just saw?
You did.
But yeah, and this movie comes with the unrated director's cut. I think it's like an extra 15-20 minutes. Highly
wow.
recommend checking it out. Yeah, 155 minutes in total running time, and it's stacked with special features. I mean, it's, again, if you love understanding the history of certain films, if you want to understand how the film was made, how it was filmed, even the music that went behind it, the idea of it, to hear the actors speak of what this masterpiece, you have that option. And again, it's on I don't know if this set itself is available still on Vinegar Syndrome, but they still have the standard cut, so highly recommend it. Here are the discs. So it's 2 Blu-rays. And last but not least, it has the booklet, which
Read your
it's a big-
booklet.
read your booklets, guys. Come on. I mean, that's the theme. Like, if it's art, right? You have cinema, you have music, you have film, you have literature. They all go hand in hand together. And yeah, I mean, just that, like, it's incredible. And
give
the
you
reason
good stuff.
it's so trippy too, it's because obviously the character takes DMT in the film. Like, he's kind of experimenting with different drugs, but he takes DMT, the spirit molecule, from what they call it. Wouldn't know, but yeah, that's that's why it's so trippy. But yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. Yeah, I wish I had a lot more, but then we'd probably be here all night, and I would love to see Jeff showcase some stuff, because he's my buddy and he's just freaking awesome.
We will get to him, but next, actually, somebody on this panel got a screener of one of the biggest like indie franchises that's out there right now, and I'd still call it indie franchise. So Jillian is gonna talk a little bit about the Hell House movie coming out.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah. Has anyone seen it yet on the panel?
Nope.
Josh?
has.
Oh, okay. Well, Josh, you got to chime in.
I will.
Has everyone seen like the Hell House LLC?
I've seen the other
franchise?
four.
I
Yeah.
hope,
Right. The first
Okay.
4.
Okay, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. But Hell House LLC Lineage is coming out August 20th in theaters, which is very exciting. I believe it's the only Hell House LLC movie that will be in theaters. And it is the 5th and final installment of the Hell House LLC series, which is a bummer because I love the franchise so much. I do have the IMDb synopsis, so we can know a little more about it, because I'm not going to get into any spoilers. But it is, for those that don't know about the franchise, it's, this found footage franchise that follows people looking into the Abaddon Hotel and the Carmichael Manor and these deadly supernatural forces behind everything. And then in Lineage, the synopsis is, after a near-death experience, Vanessa Shepard faces nightmares in Abaddon. As mysterious deaths occur around her, she discovers her connection to the Abaddon Hotel, Carmichael Manor, and decades of unexplained murders. So those who are fans of the franchise, we get to see Vanessa again, who is the documentarian from Hell House, LLC, Lake of Fire. She comes back as her main character, which is pretty exciting. And the movie is directed by Stephen Cognetti, who has done all the other Hell House LLC movies as well. And where Lineage kind of fits into the Hell House LLC universe, it's both like a prequel, sequel, and it really just expands more on the lore of the franchise. I think it would be very confusing if you've never seen any of the Hell House LLC movies to just jump in and watch it. So I highly recommend, you have 20 days to catch up and watch the Hell House LLC movies, and then you can get your butt to the theater to see Lineage. What most people are talking about for this movie is that they ended up ditching the found footage format that all the other movies have, and this movie is not found footage. Personally, I felt like it made sense. At first, I was really bummed because I'm a huge found footage fan. But it made sense because I don't think they really could have wrapped up the story or told it in the way they did if they went with the found footage format. I don't know, Josh, if you have any thoughts on how they switched up the format.
Yeah, no, I've been actually sitting on this review. I watched it, I think, 3 or 4 days ago, and I missed it. I missed the found footage aspect. To your point, I understand why they didn't do it for this film, but I really wish that they had thought of a way to make that still the style because it was good for what it was, but for me, like I just wanted more of that, turn the corner, there's something creepy, as opposed to just the more standard style of filming horror. So I don't want to. I'm still thinking on it. I honestly, it may be my least favorite of the films so far, honestly. And I don't.
No.
Yeah, I know it's a hot take because a lot of people did like it. I don't know. It's that's just me, but I'm still pondering it over. I may have to watch it again to be sure. But.
Yeah, that's so fair. I think on my review of it, I said like it's definitely probably not going to be anyone's favorite of the franchise, but it does just give us more of that backstory. But I totally understand missing the found footage format. If only they would give us like a second one as the found footage format, that'd be great. But I do feel like they did a great job at having this more like atmospheric, moody cinematography. I thought it was shot in a way that still felt a little more like raw and real without that found footage format. So that was nice. Overall, I didn't think it was like too scary. It's more tension building and more like just building that mood. But the ending genuinely terrified me. I was on the edge of my seat. And we do get to see all of our clown friends again. And I really thought, fifth movie, we're probably going to be desensitized by them, but they were even more terrifying. So you have that to look forward to. And it was fun throughout the movie. They bring back some of the other characters we have previously seen. Like I mentioned, we followed Vanessa, who's our main character. So that's nice how they tied it back to the other movies. And I feel like the way they wrapped everything up, it didn't feel to me like, it felt like everything was planned out. There were no like scenes in previous movies that, were super random and out of place. It really just tied everything together, which is nice. And then I don't think it could really work as like a standalone movie. Again, it's definitely like not the best of the entire franchise, that's for sure. So I think if you're going to watch it, you're probably going to be doing like a Hell House LLC marathon and just getting through all of them.
So it requires some homework. You should probably see the other four before you watch this one.
Seriously, and there's just like so many pieces of the Hell House LLC story that I even watched them all recently and then watched Lineage, and I'm like, I need to go back and rewatch them all again because there's just like so much that's connected. Mm-hmm. You definitely have a better experience if you do your homework. But yeah, that's the final installment, so I'm sad to see the end of the franchise, but I am excited to see what else Stephen Cognetti does. I feel like he is really great at that found footage format, though, so I'd love to see him go back to that. I know he also did 8254 Forest Road recently, which the story didn't really resonate with me, but I really liked how they filmed it, like the cinematography of it, but I feel like he is just so good at the found footage format, so hopefully we get to see that again.
I liked Jessica's question that popped up. I don't know if you saw it. Why would someone who hasn't seen the first 4 movies, why would they want to see this one? Like, is there something to hook that first time viewer in this film? Or are they going to be lost? Is it like
I do feel like you'd be a little lost. I think you could still watch it if you're in the mood for like a more moody, atmospheric movie, small town vibes, fall vibes. And it did have some pretty good scares, especially like beginning and end. So I feel like that could be really interesting, but I highly recommend watching the previous movies first. I don't think I'd recommend just jumping in and watching this one because you'll probably have a not great time.
I recommend the other ones. The first Hell House is fantastic. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It's like legit scary.
It was.
I had heard people trash it, and when I watched it, like my girlfriend and I were both like, "Holy shit, this is actually scary." That doesn't happen very often.
Right, same. That thing had me turning on the lights like all the way to the bathroom and shit. Like,
when he does the thing where he pulls the covers over his head instead of getting out of the situation. It's just like, oh no.
For me, it's the mannequins. Like when stuff's not supposed to move and it starts moving around like that, and you're gonna find it in the hall looking at you. Like I can't deal with that.
You
No.
can see it coming, and it still works. It still gets me
still-
every time.
Mm-mm.
Every time.
Well, there's more of that in the 5th one for sure. There's some creepy
Right.
hallways, creepy things staring at you. So
I did enjoy the 4th one recently. The
Same.
Carmichael Manor is so
Carmichael Manor.
It
Yeah.
reminded me the most of the first one, honestly.
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Does
2
anyone
and
know
3
where the
lost me a
4th
bit,
one?
but 4 Carmichael
Where's
Manor
the 4th
probably
one living? Because the first 3 are on Shudder, along with like a director's cut of the first one. But
Ooh.
I didn't see, like, I thought they had the 4th one, but it's not on there.
Really? Yeah, that's where I saw it last with Shudder.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
premiered there. I thought that's where I watched it when it first came out, but I haven't looked for it recently. But
Don't worry,
Yeah.
don't worry,
I
guys.
believe it's on AMC.
Oh, it is. It is there. Actually, I'm sorry. It is there.
oh,
I've got you
GC's got the
covered,
box set.
guys. This is why
Oh.
streaming doesn't work. Physical media, guys.
True.
Listen, streaming's great to
true.
perfect
preview,
plug.
but look at this, like beautiful
Own your
ent-
content.
entire collection.
Beautiful.
And
Wow.
Oh,
you know
nice.
what? He doesn't have to find what service it's streaming on to go watch it.
No, listen,
Yeah.
one-time payment. You get it on sale. Just wait for those beautiful sales. And not to mention, not only do you have all the movies, you have the poster, you have all the cool behind-the-scenes pictures, you have the cool holographic. Look at that. That's amazing. But you have a hardcover book with like every detail that went into making this. You don't get that on Netflix.
But see, I got to argue with you there. There's one reason why I didn't pick that one up, because there was another movie coming out. So now there's
Well,
going to be another box set.
Yep.
With
You have to keep it cheaper.
all of them in there.
Or Tim, I'm gonna upgrade you here for a second because
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna take care of you as soon as I'm able to. There we go. So
Does it have a slot, empty slot for it?
it doesn't have an empty slot, but if you read your books, you know you're a good boy or girl, and you read your books and all that good stuff. You have a nice little library. You simply take this beautiful hardcover book, which I'm gonna do a little for the people that enjoy the book sounds.
Ooh.
You take this out, and then you just slide the 5th one in, and there's
Okay.
a perfect for
It
it.
fits?
So, oh yeah.
All right.
So
You prove me wrong.
you that's all the time like a crazy person, but I will say
But
keep
we
an eye on the deal, brand new from
Nice.
Umbrella.
Wow, I'm
So-
seeing it like $100 online.
Yeah, now wait for the sales, man. I'm telling
That's
you,
a
you
nice
could do
deal.
physical media, but wait for the sales.
That's a nice deal. All right, Jillian, thank you so much for that preview of the next Hell House film. Shawn, you ready to highlight some recommendations?
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm a big comic fan. I do another show other than the Horror Vision called Drinking with Comics, where we just drink beer and talk about comics. And
Love that.
I like
on that
too.
show,
Yeah.
it used to be a live show when I lived in LA, but it's not anymore, obviously. But on that show, it's hard to do any horror comics because my co-host doesn't really like horror comics, and so
Man.
we're in like a renaissance. Like, I feel like there's always been good horror comics, but right now, it's like off the chart. So
I
got a
gotta try to
couple.
be quiet and let you run this because I want to chime in so much because you're right, we are.
Oh, we
Horror
totally
comics
are. Like
Popping
just
right now.
just Oni Press, like I keep saying, 2025 it's the year for Oni Press. Everything they've released, most of it's been horror or horror adjacent, and all of it has been good. So
Mhm.
I'm going to touch on a couple things with that. I'm going to kick it off first, though. So Jeff Lemire, who for horror fans, he did Gideon Falls, which is, I mean, it's just
It's excellent.
I don't even. It's like Twin Peaks, Jacob's Ladder, and like a gallon of LSD put together. And he also did the Bone Orchard series over the last couple years.
Mhm.
He's got a book going called Phantom Road. So this is issue 14. It just came out. Issue 15 comes out next month. It'll wrap the current storyline, and then he'll take a hiatus. So he does seasons. And this book is like, it has the most gotta sees of any book right now. Like there's so many things where it's like, I gotta see what that is. I gotta see what that is. I gotta see what that is. And it starts, and the trades are all available. You can get the first 2 trades, which are the first 2 arcs, anywhere. And I think they're both under $15. But it's basically a truck driver picks up a woman that's obviously like in some kind of distress on the road, and they're somewhere in like the Southwest, so it's just nothing. And they end up they end up acquiring this object, and they don't know what it is. But when they acquire it, it shifts them between the world that we know and some like weird. It looks the same, like the same world, but it's not, and it's populated by these. I'll say zombies, but that's like an oversimplification. And there's tons of them. And then they learn, like there's a series of truck stops that are obviously based on Buc-ee's. It has a different name though.
Nice.
But
Love Buc-ee's.
oh, right. So it's a lot like that, and they start to realize that the truck stops are somehow tied in, and then you start to learn that like the truck stop billionaire, and he franchised them and put them element. It's not super gory or anything, but there's just something about the tone and the texture. Very simple and just very like synergized with the writing. So you get one of these. It reminds me of, I was a big fan of the Walking Dead comic, not the show, the comic. And I love comics where you can read them in 5 minutes, not because they're bad, but because the artist and the writer are working together in such a way that like it just pulls you through. Just
Is that a Jenny Frison cover?
Say again?
Is that Jenny Frison on cover? She did the
see.
Revival comic.
Oh, no, this is Gabriel H. Walt, I believe.
That's Gabriel? Okay.
So, man, I know I read the first trade for Revival at some point, but I don't remember what it looks like.
The compendium is out and highly, highly worth it.
Ooh.
I love that book.
Okay.
The show was not that good.
This is so good, and I just say, like, so it'll wrap, the new season, the current season will wrap next month, and then there'll be a hiatus, and then the trade will come out, I think, at the beginning of the year, and it'll all three so far will be in trade. Totally worth your time. Jeff Lemire is just fantastic. Next, so this is like a Giallo adjacent. This is You'll Do Bad Things. Look at that cover.
Nice. I like that.
That is gorgeous.
And man, so this is Tyler Boss is the writer, and he's known for doing the art on like What's the Furthest Place from Here, Five Kids Walk into a Bank. There's another book that I'm blanking on the title of, but I love his art, and so this is him writing. Great writer. And this is basically like, okay, so you've got a writer in New York that had one true crime book that actually was about this. They call him it was like something like the Lullaby Killer. That's not exactly right, but he killed a bunch of children, and this guy wrote this book that actually helped catch him. And then he's been struggling for years to make another book. He's got an advance, and like it's one of those situations that we see so often with writers as the protagonist in a horror story. Like, what am I going to tell the publisher? Have you written anything? Oh yeah, and there's nothing. And he starts writing. He starts to get inspiration, and as he starts writing, murders start taking place that are adjacent to the original crime. And I don't want to say too much, but there's deep implications that like he's not a reliable narrator, or that like we're not seeing everything. And it's Sharky Girl. It's so worth your time, and it's short. Like 5 just came out. 6 is next month is over, so it'll be collected in like another month or two. And just really great art by Adriano Tortolici, and just creepy. And there's an image in the fourth book that ends it that, oh my god, it's like stayed with me since. So that's always key, because I read a lot, and to have like one image just kind of lock in my mind and always kind of be there, absolutely outstanding. Sleep. I don't know how long this is going. The 3rd issue came out 2 weeks ago. This is Xander Cannon is writing and drawing it. I thought the art was going to like break it for me. It's very stylized and almost like comic strip-ish. And it's all gray tones, but there's a lot of red, and the red is kind of Cannon has said, like, pay attention to the red. It's telling you stuff about the story. And this is kind of a mystery, and it's basically this guy, he works at a coffee shop in a small town. He's got a girlfriend that he likes, but he doesn't, she doesn't really think of him that way. And he wakes up, and the town is starting to like, something is killing animals and destroying property, and they don't know what it is. And then something is killing people, and he's and we don't know. And like, it's not really a spoiler because we don't know, but it's suggested from the first issue that it's him, and he's blacking out and turning into a werewolf or something. But you don't know, and it's another one where like the mystery is so abundant and just thrilling, and you see this guy's like he's starting to spiral in this issue. He's convinced it's him, which makes me think it's not him, but like, oh man, the art and just the characters really, it's just unique. It kind of has a comic strip feel, but then like when it's violent or terrible, it's violent and terrible, which kind of is a nice contrast to the art style and what it initially looks like. So again, third issue came out 2 weeks ago. I don't know how long it's running. I'm hoping for a while. Image puts it out, and I think it's doing really good. I think the first issue went to a second printing, so that's always a good sign. Okay, then this is kind of like one last one, but it comes with like kind of hangers on. So I mentioned Oni Press. So last year they resurrected EC Comics, and oh yeah, Kaiju Max. So Kaiju Max, I have to check that out. That's Xander Cannon's previous book, and it looks and sounds amazing. I had no awareness of him before this. So with EC Comics, now Tim, I know you mentioned like the Creep Show anthology comics, right? And are you still reading those?
The which anthology?
The Creep Show?
Yeah, the Creep Show anthologies are a ton of fun.
Oh, okay. So I need to go back because like I feel like I love Creep Show. Okay.
Mhm.
And I liked the first season of the comic, but just like the first season of the show when it came back to Shudder, I felt like it hits real big up front and then kind of loses steam near the end. And I forget which, I think it was the second or third season of the comic was the last one that I read where I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read this anymore. Like it just kind of was disappointing. There's some big names, and even that didn't really
Like
thrill me.
Clay McLeod Chapman is a big name that I remember.
Okay, I know like there was one Garth Ennis did. David Lapham is always in it. And
Mhm.
I noticed David Lapham is now on a lot of these. So Oni brings back EC, and at first they started with Epitaphs from the Abyss. And they said that kind of their mission statement with EC was like, we're not going to bring back the original anthologies, the names or whatever, because we want this to be EC Comics as if it never went away. And like these would be titles that'd be launching now. And I feel like everything I want the Creep Show books to be, this is
Okay.
tenfold. Like I've not been let down. So Epitaphs went 12 issues, and like they're just gorgeous. Like I said, David Lapham, I'm a huge Stray Bullets fan, so he's involved a lot. A lot of big names. Stephanie Phillips, Greg Pak. I'm blanking on other ones, and I only brought this one issue here, but every story is great, and they vary in length. So you'll have some that are a little bit longer, and then you'll have to have a shorter one in the back of the issue or whatever. And there's never a dip in quality. I always read them straight through and love every story. They ended that, and I was like, oh, wait, what are you doing when you're going to end that? And the first thing they did was they launched. So one of the short stories that had been in it, I forget what issue it was of Epitaphs. They spun out a mini series called Blood Type, and it's about a female vampire that ends up on like a resort island, and it's fantastic. And the cool thing about this mini series is it's the writer that wrote the short, which is Coriana Betchko, but Andrea Sorrentino is doing the art, and he did the art for Jeff Lemire's Gideon Falls, and I just love his art. It's crazy. And along with that, they launched a new horror anthology called Catacomb of Torment. First issue came out last month, and it's just tons of fun. There's a lot of like social, political. It's not preachy, and it picks on everybody. So, like, if you get a little bit hurt, like your feelings hurt by the first story, then you turn the page, and you're like, oh, they're picking on everyone. That's cool.
Right.
So,
right.
Well, I like it.
And
no need to feel alienated.
Exactly. Like that's not their intent. They're just like, this is the world of humans, and they are stupid, and they die in terrible ways because they are stupid. So let's explore that. And
love it.
There is just some gnarly shit in these books, and it's so much fun. And again, short stories, every one of them has been great. So that's it. That's what I brought for y'all.
Awesome. I want to piggyback real quick on the comic books because I read one this week that I think I talked to you about the Hyde Street books that have come out
Yes.
recently. They're a little bit more mainstream. Jeff Johns is known for major superhero stories, but he also has been dabbling in horror, and he's created this world of Hyde Street, which is somewhere between, it's very much written like a Twilight Zone. It's got a narrator, welcome to Hyde Street, this kind of setup. But it's also got this mix of like Cabin in the Woods, where there's a board with different characters on it, and they're keeping track of how many souls people can get and all these different little monsters on there. But then they have spin-offs of what happens on Hyde Street. And because big fan of Jessica Lacey's, she was on the last show, but this book is called Sisterhood. Only the first issue is out right now. It came out this month. I mentioned Jessica Lacey because this is bubblegum horror. It's two girls who are best friends, grew up together, going off to college, and one of them is drawn to some fraternity hazing. Okay, I'm basically going to give you the first book here, but she dies in the hazing. And so her best friend makes some sort of deal with a witch, and
Hell
they
yeah.
bring her back, and she's basically like, all these bitches who kill me gotta die.
Hell yeah, dude.
And that's the hook.
Love it.
That's the hook for the book. And I'm like, yeah, you sold me. I'm in. Like, this is going to be a good one. Give me the rest of it. It is written by Maytal Shoot, and highly recommend that so far. It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. But from recommendations to physical media, Jeff, we're on to you now. You ready?
That cover art was sick also.
It was
Yeah.
good art.
Yeah.
Good art. All right, Jeff, this is your moment, man. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I do appreciate it. So I kind of mess with old school stuff too, but this is kind of like old and new. But Terrifier came out on VHS in the United States finally. Of course, Umbrella had it on VHS a little while ago, but this matches the Walmart editions from last summer of 2 and 3. It's made by
I can't
the
believe
same
they're doing
guy.
VHS.
Yeah, and it's a brand new pressed VHS. So I don't believe they're planning on putting it in stores because there's no barcode to sell it.
Yeah.
But what's neat about these particular cuts is that these are actually all in 4:3 format. So if you really like it old school and you're going to watch it on a tube TV, these are perfect to watch them on. And they even squeeze some special features in there at the end of the tape since the movie is not that long. And they put it's I haven't opened it yet, but it's actually on like the longest tape you can get, I guess. So, and then of course this is one that lots of people have been talking about in the physical media game, and then just in general. Now I don't really particularly care so much about steelbooks, so I was just happy to get the slipcover. But this is one that I just think everybody should just own. This is like basically our generations from Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was really glad to find this one. Me and my wife actually watched it on demand. And then I told her, I said, hey, on your way home tomorrow, go by Walmart. And if they haven't demolished all the slipcovers yet, go ahead and grab it and bring it home. Because it's just one of those ones that if they pull it from streaming, that'll be the moment that I want to go watch it. Michael B. Jordan did excellent in this. You know, he plays two different characters, but you wouldn't know it's him. And that's pretty much all I really got for July. I spend most of my July like getting Criterion movies. But I did get something that comes out in a couple of weeks. I got them a little early, and that's the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Love Sleepaway Camp.
It's the best.
These movies are some of my favorites. I never had the Blu-rays. That was just they came out on Screen Factory on Blu-ray around the time that I didn't really know what a boutique label was, and I was more heavy collecting video games at the time, so I kind of missed them. And I love the movies, but not $300 a piece. So these for about 30 a piece are great. Between the two releases, you have about 45 minutes extra of new extra features for each movie. So if you love behind the scene features and new documentaries, those are on there. The cuts look amazing. They sound about as good as they ever have sounded. They didn't do much with the sound on them. And then there's some other releases for the next couple months that have been announced. That GC did mention Freddie getting his due respects, but also Leatherface is getting his due respects. My Leatherface, which is the remake from the early thousands, both of those are getting Arrow releases in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm glad that I got these early, because when those come out, I'll be spending my time watching those. We also are getting Night of the Living Dead 90 finally released on something better than a DVD.
Wow.
And we're getting the Tom Savini director's cut for the first time ever on home release.
Nice.
So that's very exciting to me.
Who's putting that out?
That is Sony that's actually putting that out.
Wow.
So it is going to be a studio release. So I believe it's about a $40 steelbook, but you get a Blu-ray and a 4K in there. And like I said, you get a cut that has never been sold to us before. So it's not the same wash and rinse repeat that we tend to get. We're actually getting some new stuff in this, and it's very exciting for longtime fans.
Quick question, Jeff. Did you or anyone else in the panel, did any of you guys ever watch the fourth Sleepaway Camp movie?
Yes. I actually really enjoy that one.
Okay.
You're talking Return to Sleepaway Camp, correct?
Yeah, where they brought back the dude from the first one.
Yeah.
One of the main characters. I thought it was awesome.
It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first original Netflix movie. It was the first thing that they were trying to sell as, this is an exclusive to our streaming service. Come here. Because I remember signing up for Netflix on my 360 just to watch it.
Wow.
I have a homebrew release here, hoping for a real Blu-ray someday, because
that'd be awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'd like to see all four packed together.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get that, because they didn't even give us the first one this time. So. Man. But Screen Factory, they'll release it next year after they've said they can't release it. They'll give us a 4K. They'll figure out a way.
Mm-hmm.
Those teasers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Was that what you had?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for stepping in, filling in for us tonight.
Yep,
all right.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And we're on to Josh.
Oh boy! All right.
Which I just gotta say, I love your Instagram handle.
Oh, thank you. My wife actually came up with it. I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
I think it's his Instagram handle. Those of you who don't know, is @horribly opinionated. Horror. I think it's brilliant. I love it. But anyways,
thank you. And the crazy, I'm not even that opinionated, honestly. I pretty go with the flow. No, this has been great, guys. It's been an education, actually, because I don't do physical media. I don't do comics. I don't do books. I feel like I should have been taking notes. But what I do know is kind of more recent horror. So I have a few things. I might have actually over-prepared. So if I go over, please just cut me off.
We're down 2 of our regular people. So I'm keeping a somewhat eye on it. We're fine.
Okay. No, yeah. But yeah, I've got a few things. I'm going to start off with 3 YouTube shorts for July. I like horror appetizers. If I'm working and just need a break, like a 5-10 minute thing, I'll jump on YouTube and try and find a scary short. So the first one is from High Strange TV, and it's called Things the Door Can Do. Now, High Strange has a 3-part series called Doors, and the first one's a little bit informational, I guess, only 5 minutes, but the 2 and 3 are some of the scariest analog found footage I've seen on YouTube. So definitely check those out. But the things the door can do is basically just like the first three things are just showing you weird things. Like there will be candles, the door will shut by itself, and the candles will be lit when it opens. And it kind of goes on like that. But it goes on to the point where there's a girl there on her knees, and the door shuts, and it opens back up, and her face is all like blurry. She's basically like featureless. And then the door shuts again. She disappears, and that's this kid's bedroom. And I'm not going to give the rest of it away, but it's a pretty like wild ending. I posted it actually recently, a clip of it. So if you're into like analog horror, that's definitely a solid one to check out. The next one is one that I saw a few weeks back. It's called Sweet Molly, and it features or stars Rebecca Kennedy, who was in Two Witches and the upcoming Tribetica, which I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but it looks absolutely terrifying. I've heard crazy things about it. And Two Witches is like one of my favorite witch films ever. But she plays this 16-year-old daughter of this. She's in like an LDS family, and she's got two moms, but apparently she can also astral project. So she's sleeping one night. She does her astral projection thing and finds out that her father is going to marry her off to the elder of the church. And so she's like, I'm not going to do that. She tries to escape her house and ends up coming like face to face with the elder, and she has to make a pretty drastic decision. So it's a little more on like the thriller drama side, but it's definitely got that, horror accents to it. That's about 16 minutes. So if you're looking for just like another quick little watch, highly recommend. And then the last one I have is called Degenerative, which is by White Cape Productions, and I never even heard of them. But it's 4 minutes long, real quick. But basically, this guy's like fiddling around with like AI on like a search engine, and it's popping up different images. But he types in this one prompt, and there's like a woman, like a very skeletal, creepy woman, but you can't see her face. She's like facing a window down a hallway. But he keeps typing in prompts to like refresh, but it just keeps popping up with this woman, and each time she's getting closer and closer. She's turning, and eventually he types in like car just to like see if it'll come off, and it does. But then he realizes that something is terribly amiss in his apartment. And again, I'm not going to give you any of the rest, but it's a great little short. The ending is a little bit of a letdown only because I feel like it could have been such a gut punch if they just added like an extra 10 seconds to it. But definitely one worth checking out if you just, quick little horror shot for you.
I love that premise so much. I'm in.
Oh yeah, no, it's so solid. Again, I just wish there was more at the end. But it's definitely just a fun watch. Then I'm going to jump into, this isn't a TV series yet or like a streaming series, but I got to check out a rough cut of for this potential show called Final Transmissions, which I swear to God, I'm not paid to say any of this, but they have an Indiegogo page. They're trying to reach a goal of $20,000. They're close. They're at like 19,000 or something like that. So they're almost there. But it's a really cool project. It's supposed to be like a 6-part anthology series, found footage, analog style. And they want it to be out on like, something like Shudder or Screenbox or Found TV. But the one I watched is called Dr. Midnight. And this guy, it felt like a mix of like The Last Broadcast and Grave Encounters. Like you basically follow this guy into this haunted hospital. And it's that, grainy kind of low budget feel, but it's definitely super creepy. He has to go through like this ritual in there. So if you guys are interested, obviously go check it. They have a whole bunch of information on the Indiegogo as well. So if you just want to just get some more information on it, it's called Final Transmissions. And I think it's going to be really awesome. So definitely check that out if you are interested. The next one I have is called, this is the only one that's not actually from July. It's one I recently watched because I had no idea it existed. But I don't know if any of you have seen The Pact. Any fans? Oh,
no idea.
Folks, all right, here we go.
Clue us in.
The Pact is like one of my, as far as like haunted house mysteries go, it's really solid. And the director of that came out with this film called The Prodigy, which is 2019. It stars Taylor Schilling from Orange is the New Black. And I've never seen her in anything else. But she absolutely kills it in this. And it's not necessarily like outright horror. It's more like, it's more thriller drama with a little horror added. But there are a couple scenes in there where like something happens and your jaw's just going to drop because it's shot so well. And, the special effects are done so well. It was really rather impressive. And it's got like a mediocre score on like Tomatoes, but for me, it was a great film to check out. So The Prodigy, 2019, definitely worth a watch. Next one I'm going to go with is Push. It's a Shudder film that came out recently. It's basically this woman loses her husband in a tragic accident, but she's pregnant and left with a baby. She, months later, she's a realtor, and she's showing this massive mansion that's been, no one's lived in it for years, which is massive red flag in horror, but she's doing it. And this one guy shows up. He's very, very odd, but basically he turns out to just be this absolute psychopath. And he's like, I have to kill you and your baby. So it becomes like this game of cat and mouse, but she also goes into labor while he's chasing her. So it has just this element of like, she's going to give birth any minute, and she's also trying to save herself, and this guy's trying to kill her. But he's got some connection to the house like that can keep him alive. They don't really explain. It actually was a fairly divisive film. A lot of people were like, oh, it was just bland and like didn't add anything to the genre. But for me, it was super like stressful and exciting to watch. So, to each their own. I found it to be a fun watch, but definitely something I would check out if you're into that type of film. I got two more, and I hesitate to bring this one up because I'm not a big fan of the Pooniverse at all. For those of you who don't know, the Pooniverse is like they're making these films based on like the kids' characters. So Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, I don't even know the other ones. They come out like a
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Yeah. So I'm not sure they need to exist, but I was offered of Bambi: The Reckoning, which was interesting to say the least. But I was never going to watch it otherwise, so I threw it on. And basically, Bambi's this mutant deer, and he attacks this family in their home, and the rest of the film is them just trying to escape being killed by Bambi, but also trying to figure out like why Bambi is a mutant in the first place. And you get an answer. There's also other animals who are mutants, which again you get an answer to. A lot of people die. The kills are actually, if you're into blood and gore and like kind of wacky kills, I can understand why it would be something you'd enjoy. It didn't do anything to move the needle for me personally on the Pooniverse. I still think they could just kill monsters and do their own thing. But Bambi was. Has anyone seen Bambi?
I have the screener too, so that's probably the only reason why I'll watch it also. But I've heard a lot of people say they actually really enjoyed it out of like all of the like Pooniverse movies.
I've heard it's the better of them. I couldn't even finish the second Poop movie. I turned it off.
Yeah,
that was a rough watch.
I'm not surprised.
Saying Pooniverse just sounds pornographic. So I don't know, might be some people.
But yeah, that's my thing too. I've heard a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's the best of them yet," and I'm like, "That's a very low bar." Like I don't understand why. So yeah, I was like, I don't know, but I do understand the allure for some. I guess is what I'll say for that. And my last film that I need to bring up, I just did a review about this the other day, but it's called The Undertone. It's not out yet. It's at premiered at Fantasia Film Festival recently. But the long and short of it is this girl moves into her mother's home. Her mother's dying and basically in a coma. Like she doesn't open her eyes. She basically just like gets water through like a tube and that's it. She's dying. But while she's there taking care of her mother, she's doing this podcast with her co-host, and they get this email with 10 audio clips. And so the narrative of the story is they're listening to these clips, and like they just get progressively worse. It's about a couple, and they're going like the wife has some sleep issues, but so they're recording things that are happening during the night, and as they go through each clip, it gets more and more sinister. But as they listen to the clip or to each clip, things get wild in her mother's house. And this isn't a film that's like, it's not a bunch of jump scares, but, and I said this in the video, it's it's some of the best framing I've ever seen in a film, period. Like there's a scene where there's a tea kettle facing a window. So you can see, like, that's the only thing that's in focus. And you can see the reflection of the window. The girl standing in the kitchen, like at the sink, there's a door behind her that's open, and there's a door to little down frame that's open. And literally something scary could happen from any one of those points. And in that scene, nothing happens. But the tension that it built, it's like that the entire film. It's like the entire film is so stressful. And like when they do decide to give you a scare, it's effective as hell. Like it's in the sound design. Obviously a lot of it deals with audio, so it had to be good, and it's phenomenal. So again, it's not out yet, but rest assured, like I want to be pumping this film up as best I can. And when I know the release date, I'm going to let everyone know because it's that good. It's one of the scariest films I've seen in 2025 and probably my entire life. Like it's that good. And I'm not just like
Dang, okay.
smoke. Yeah, it's
Your entire life.
Claim.
yeah,
recently
like,
added.
it's super solid. Like I for now.
Unable to get her technical difficulties figured out. She's been messaging me on the side here. She feels really bad. So she was planning to join us, but not working out tonight. We'll try for the future. So that means we're going to close out Ricky from the Nightclub podcast. We've had Travis on before. We're both part of the same show. Ricky's going to close us out. He was kind of a last minute when Travis couldn't get here and work in time. So Ricky's going to fill us in on some last minute schlocky recommendations to wrap us up. And then that is it for our July recap episode. Ricky, take it away.
Bring it on, cuh.
Yeah, so I got we were having our little technical difficulties earlier. I was cut off in the middle of making a joke about the podcast. You can find us anywhere. Like it's not just places. Anywhere you catch pods. We're the Nightclub podcast. I'm a co-host. We talk about movies and stuff, and we laugh and we drink and stuff. It's fun.
It's a good time.
Where horror comes to party. That's our little tagline. So anyway,
I gotta tell you though, we did learn that no two people can use the same name on a live from you.
I don't know why the link did that, man. Like I tried changing it like every single time, and it still put me in as Chris, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Thought you were trolling.
No, man. I didn't realize that's what was. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't even realize I was kicking him off.
Every time
I kept coming in. So anyway, I actually have some physical media, and I'm actually not a physical media guy because I play Warhammer. So that's like too expensive. That's my money pit. But I do have this because I love shitty, schlocky, bad movies. They're it's one of my favorite things to do is to just eat some edibles and watch a badly made movie and laugh, and it's the best. But I've actually got 2 Indonesian movies from the 80s and an American movie from the 80s. I'll start with this one. It is Mystics in Bali, and I'm sure that is not coming out great on frame, but there it is. There's actually some really cool Indonesian folk elements in there. You've got this vampiric head with the entrails hanging, and it flies around and it attacks people. And since it's like micro budget Indonesian 80s horror, this considered the first Indonesian horror film, by the way. Since it's so shitty, it's like obviously a mannequin head on a line, and it's spinning around for no reason sometimes, and it bumps into shit, and the dubbing is horrible, the dialogue is horrible, the characters are written poorly, everything is bad, but it's so much fun. And some of the effects are surprisingly good. There's a transformation scene because the movie's very witchy. You've got a lot of Indonesian, excuse me. You've got a lot of Indonesian black magic and whatnot. It's crazy. You get like a werepig transformation, and they turn into snakes, and it's wild. At one point, the movie goes like full Tron mode with the graphics drawn onto the screen, and they have a wizard duel. It's the best. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend this. I love this. And by the same director, his name, by the way, let me butcher it right quick because I'm not cultured. I'm a piece of shit. So the director's name is Tajut Jalil. And this is one of my favorite directors because all his movies are this caliber Well, actually, I think some of them might be porn, so don't quote me on that. So next I have, that's DVD, by the way. They don't make a Blu-ray or none of that for this. I managed to find these from him on Amazon for like $15 a piece. They're yes, they are worth it. They're worth all the money in the world. So this is Lady Terminator. Okay. Again, the camera's not doing a great job, but it's directed by Tajut Jalil. It came out in 1988, and should I read some of these like taglines or something? Here's a tagline.
Do it.
An outrageous tale of blood, babes, and black magic. So a freaking anthropologist gets possessed by an ancient Indonesian evil goddess, and then she becomes like the Terminator. She gets a gun, she puts on sunglasses and a jacket, and runs around and shoots everyone in the dick throughout the whole movie. They recreate
peen violence. Oh my god!
Yeah, peen violence. So
the peen violence episode.
They recreate the Terminator scene where he shows up at the jail. Like they recreate that perfectly, but it's just her with a fucking Uzi shooting it into the air like all showboaty, and then she kicks a dude in the dick and shoots him, and it's the best. This movie's great.
I need to watch this immediately. Oh my god!
You can find violence calls to her.
I think you can find both of these on YouTube. I should have checked before I did this, but just kind of last minute. So sorry about that. But I think you can watch them both for free on YouTube, honestly. Yeah, lots of sleazy, fun, schlocky shit. The last thing I have is actually a Severin release. And I don't know if you guys know about Night of the Demon from 1980.
No.
Not Night of the Demons.
No.
Linnea Quigley movie.
No. This is, in my opinion, the best Bigfoot movie of all time. It is a combination of two movies that were not the same, not made by the same people, but they took them, added more, shot more stuff. So they shot a bunch of kills to turn these two movies into like a slasher. Okay. This is the goriest piece of shit Bigfoot movie. Speaking of penis violence, you get a direct dick ripping. He rips it right off. He just reaches out of the bushes and pulls it right off the man. Poor guy.
This was the first movie I watched on your guys' recommendation.
Hell
you and Travis recommended this movie to me. I'd never heard of it before. I was physically queasy. I was about to vomit.
The gore is surprisingly phenomenal.
It's good.
Everything else is, I feel like no one had any idea. I feel like the cinematographer had never picked up a camera. I feel like the music composer never in their life had an instrument. Like, there's this amazing slow motion scene where they're trapped in this cabin with the Bigfoot, and I'm guessing they shot it in slow motion to pad it a little bit, but you have this horrific sounding like spacey jazz music going on that makes no sense, and Bigfoot's just swinging entrails around and pitchforking people, and I will say this one does have check your trigger warnings. There is some SA, some weird culty incest stuff. It's kind of yucky, but other than that, it's a lot of fun, and it's really easy to laugh at because just the acting, the dialogue, everything is horrible. None of it barely makes sense, and it's a good time.
Dude, Rick.
Yo, hell yeah, brother.
Severin released I bought the movie and the novelization, and you know what? The
Nice.
novelization is way better. It's so much more in depth with the cult shit. It's insane.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much stuff where I'm like, because this was written like Severin when they found that movie, they commissioned this book, so this didn't exist when
Oh
it came out.
wow.
Yeah, so this is like fairly recent. It's if you dig the movie, I really like the book.
Man, when I first saw this movie, it blew my socks off. I was like, this is the silliest, funnest thing I've ever seen. It's the benchmark for, like, if your Bigfoot movie doesn't have a dick ripping in it, I just, I'll watch it. Like, I'll watch it, but in the back of my mind, I'm just like, man, they could have done so much better. You could have ripped the whole penis off or something,
Oh my God.
I didn't know this was like a horror subgenre, like dick violence.
Apparently
it is. I appreciate it. I really do.
It's in a lot of books, horror books too, quite a lot. But anyway,
I'm pretty sure we could do a psychological study on why that's there, but
right.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I'm not educated enough for that.
But aside from that, like the physical here, I know y'all are physical media people. Like this, I mean, it's beautiful. The art's beautiful. You can't really see it worth a crap on here, but and the slip cover's really nice.
Yeah,
I love the slip cover.
The slip cover is awesome.
That's the Bigfoot, by the way. His costume is atrocious in this movie. Like it's so bad. It's the best. I love it. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Just maybe don't watch it with your kids or your grandma
during Thanksgiving or Christmas.
No peen violence for the children.
Right.
No.
Wait till they
Blue
get
tanks for the children,
right.
not pain violence. Oh.
All right. I think that does it.
Okay,
I think
then.
that wraps us up. Jonathan, you ready to read us out of here?
Before we,
oh my gosh!
Can I go off real quick about something?
Yeah.
Are you going off script?
Yeah, off script. So Kelsi, with all these bug books you were recommending earlier, apparently my wife got a whole bunch of fake cockroaches and has been putting them all over our house. And now she's at work, and every time we open a drawer or reach for something and we can't see, there's a goddamn little plastic roach. And so I just thought that was a really fun coincidence. And I'm about to bring some to work tomorrow, and I'm gonna put them in people's toolboxes. I'm gonna put them in the fridge in the break room. It's gonna be the best.
Nice.
I'm glad they're fake and not real.
No doubt. Yeah.
I can't take real ones. I mean, I could read about them eating people's peens off, but
right.
I don't want to experience seeing them, even just chilling there on the floor. Get out of
Hell
here.
no.
We hate you, roaches. Real ones. Ugh.
Peen violence is not a normal topic of conversation on the
sorry,
show.
it is for me. I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm sorry.
Another beautiful coincidence, right? Maybe it's something in the water in Louisiana.
Yeah.
We're all about cockroaches and cock violence.
Episode 3, the peen violence episode. Check it out, people.
Oh my God.
Make sure to put the hashtag too, like everywhere. Peen.
Hashtag peen violence.
I'm just like known for unhinged stuff, so like sorry I mentioned it, but that's me, I guess.
You need a t-shirt. Peen violence.
Love it.
Yeah, shirts for everybody.
Yeah.
Anyhow, well, folks,
the year of the peen violence.
Peen
July.
Violence Queen.
Yeah, we found out last month was the month of H.P. Lovecraft. This month was the month of peen violence, apparently. So that's unfortunate.
For some.
Can't wait to see what next month brings.
Jeez. Well, folks, that's a wrap on episode 3 of the Dread Broadcast. Huge thanks to every horror-loving maniac who hung out with us tonight.
Let's give it up for our amazing panel. Ricky, you just went.
Thank you.
Yep. Kelsi, thank you for being here again.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me shout about peen destruction. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry again.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
But I really love hanging with you guys, and I appreciate you. And thank you to my corn cult in the chat. Thank you again.
They're awesome. GC, thank you.
Dude, thank you so much for having me again, guys. Looking forward to next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, just save it. Don't destroy all the peens.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have so much fun.
Jeff, thanks for coming out for the first time. Awesome job tonight, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. You guys are all very like-minded. I felt like I have a lot of common interest with all of you. So it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. That's what we want here. That's what we want. Shawn, thank you for coming back again.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Josh, first time. I've been trying for a while. I'm glad we could make it work this time. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, me too. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Like I said, learned a lot, but definitely look forward to being back at some point in the future.
Awesome. And Jillian, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So nice to meet all of you, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't think it would be as funny as it was, but a lot of fun.
We try to keep it relaxed around here, but thank you so much for being here. And we lost a couple due to internet issues and whatever along the way, but thank you to all the panel members who are out here. Thank you for bringing the chaos, the insights, and the passion for horror. And of course, biggest shout out to our guest of honor, the actor, director, and co-writer of Abduct, Mr. Chris Riggi. He was a total blast. So excited to see what's next for him.
Yeah.
All right. So next month's panel is already locked and loaded with killer creators. But if you're a horror podcaster, filmmaker, critic, collector, or just a fan with something to say, we're booking for September now. Get in touch with us. Let us know what's up.
So whether you're a lifelong reader, a VHS hoarder, a fresh out of the grave indie filmmaker, or just someone who finds comfort in these dark shadows, this space is for you. We want to give you something to show up for and something new to walk away with.
So make sure you're following us on YouTube, Instagram, and all the usual dark corners of the internet, because we are just getting started.
Until then, stay creepy, stay curious, and keep the dread alive.